Hello everyone, welcome to What If Naruto Runway from Village and becomes the heir of Lucifer Morningstar Part 2. Before we start, please go support NagashBlackHand for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. This is the translated version I made. There will be some wrong he or she calling here because it's translated, so let me clear this. Naruto is a male in this story. Chapter 12. Lucifer and his group were transported to another place, which the blonde already knew where it was. Suddenly a certain familiar dragon appeared, thus scaring most of them. Great Red, Lucifer has already done what you asked of me. Lucifer, thank you, by the way you used my appearance, right? Great Red, yes, and I warn you that I will never do it again. Lucifer, okay. By the way, guys, this is Great Red, one of the dragon gods, and Great Red, they are my companions/women/brothers. Great Red, I don't give a shit, and now goodbye, I have things to do. When he finished speaking, everyone returned to the living room. Kakashi, Lucifer, where do you know that dragon from? Lucifer, well, it's a long story that one day I will tell you. And before you asked, he had asked him to inform the other part of Ari of what he planned. So if everything is resolved, I'm leaving, he said, and then disappeared. The next day everyone was already in the living room waiting for those who were missing, which didn't take long to arrive. Lucifer, well, first of all I have to tell you that I have changed the plan a little. Azazel will help me take Menma to the field, while you do your best to not bother us. Understood? All yes. I clarified that those who will go will be Kakashi, Sasuke, Itachi, Ari, Vala and Issei. And Ichiraku Ramen. Menma was calmly eating his bowl without noticing what was happening outside. Outside Ichiraku. Lucifer, well, now we will follow the plan. Vala, apart from distracting, we don't do anything, right? And what plan? Lucifer, exactly, and the plan is this. He then turned around, putting on a balaclava and then entering the restaurant/local. As soon as he entered, he approached Menma and then grabbed a stool. Those present had no bucking idea what she was going to do. But when they saw what she did, they couldn't help but scream. Everyone, what the buck? What happened was that Lucifer hit Menma in the head with the stool, breaking him on the spot. Menma fell unconscious from the blow, falling face first into her plate. Immediately afterwards the blonde grabbed him and started dragging him towards the street. When he came out, he left Menma on the ground and then picked him up like a sack of potatoes. As soon as he finished positioning it, a van appeared, parking in front of the blonde. He quickly opened the side door to leave Menma inside, and then he entered as well. Lucifer, it's ready, start, he said, hitting the panel of the van, causing it to shoot towards the training fields. Not without first running over some people. Everyone looked WTF, not knowing what to do, until they came out of their trance and headed towards the field. Once they arrived at the field, they saw Lucifer sitting next to Azazel. Lucifer, well, that's it. Everything turned out perfectly. Issei, but you didn't want to attract attention? Lucifer, yes, but then I remembered that I can cover my face so they don't recognize me. Vala, well, I'm going to hell now, so you stay, she said to disappear, followed by Issei. Lucifer, well, it's time to do my magic. Thus doing the same as with Mito. Only when he finished he passed the chakra to Ari. So being one again. Lucifer, well, that's it. I hope it doesn't bother me too much for what I've done, he said, looking at Menma. Itachi, he'll probably tell Minato or the council for a change. Lucifer, well, it doesn't matter. By the way, Kakashi will almost be taking the Chunin exams, right? Kakashi, yes. I have been informed that the villages of Sand and the newly created, which is not at all suspicious, the village of Sound will come. Sasuke, why do you say it's suspicious? It's as if that village is controlled by a pedophile snake who wants to destroy Konoha with the help of Sand. Everyone looked at him like he was crazy. Lucifer, well, Sasuke has stopped raving. We can go now. Thus a few weeks passed where Lucifer continued doing missions out of obligation. Also Menma, when he found out that he couldn't use Kyuubi's chakra, accused Lucifer. Wherever he is, he emerged victorious due to lack of evidence, even though the one that made the council believe him was thanks to Lucifer himself, who had freed, so to speak, the souls of some other counselor. And this brings us to the day where Kakashi gives him the forms. Lucifer, Sasuke, and Ari were heading to who knows where when they noticed an anomaly in their path. In the middle of it was a stone that was strangely rectangular. Lucifer, but what the buck? Who are you? Suddenly the box exploded, showing 3 children making their entrance, which we already saw. Lucifer, wait, did you say Konohamaru? Konohamaru, yes sir? Lucifer, for nothing, just because Sarutobi told me about his grandson, and now I've been able to see you. Konohamaru, has my grandfather really talked about me with you? Lucifer, yes. Why the question? Konohamaru, my grandfather told me that you are a very strong ninja, and he even told me that you defeated him. Lucifer, yes, good memories. Konohamaru, how did you beat him? Lucifer, with women, he said with a smile. Konohamaru, I don't understand. What does a woman have to do with it? Lucifer, do you know how babies are made? Konohamaru, yes, the stork, right? Lucifer, not exactly. You tell the old man to tell you how babies are made, and if I tell you the same thing, tell him that he knows it's a lie. And now returning to the topic of why women. Well, I'm just saying that there is also pleasure in making babies. Now run and look for your old man. Let's go look. She said as she patted him on the back. The boy just nodded, starting to run. Sasuke, you're a son of a bitch. You know that, right? Lucifer, yes. But leaving that aside, let's go. Before he could move, he heard a scream, which he recognized. Instantly he disappeared along with his team, arriving where little Sarutobi was. Well, you already know what happened, so I won't write it. Lucifer, I would lower it for you. Kankuro, and why should I do it, child? Lucifer, first, why, if you don't put him down in 10 seconds, would he rip off your arms and then beat you to death with them? And second, why, he is the grandson of the 3rd Hokage. Do you need anything else? Kankuro only paled so much from the threat for the person he was holding, thus quickly releasing the child. Konohamaru, thanks boss, he said, positioning himself next to the blonde who looked at him. Lucifer, boss? I don't work with children. Konohamaru, work? No. I say that you are our boss since I wanted to ask you if you could train us. Lucifer, okay, I'll train you. But with one condition. Konohamaru, which one would it be? Lucifer, simple, you just have to sign this suspicious-looking contract in blood. He said to make a small scroll appear. The boy found it, and saw that there were strange things written and symbols. Konohamaru, what does this scroll say? Lucifer, nothing out of this world but loyalty. If you betray me, you will die. I will keep your soul and it will belong to me. Nothing special. The little boy, upon hearing the last thing, turned around and then asked, Konohamaru, what's that about me? He couldn't finish as he let out a small scream as he cut himself on something sharp that came out of the parchment, causing blood to fall on it. Lucifer, wow, it seems that's it, now your soul belongs to me, she said, snatching the scroll from him to make it disappear. Lucifer, well, now go look for your grandfather. Didn't you have to ask him something? Konohamaru, it's true, see you boss, so running out again. Lucifer, well, where were we going? So, since you've released the little one, I think we could get to know each other a little, right? I don't know how to get off to a good start, he said as he looked at the girl who was behind Kankuro. Kankuro, very good. My name is Kankuro. Lucifer, my name is Lucifer Morningstar. And you beautiful? He asked the girl with a small smile. Temari, my name is Temari and I am Kankuro's sister. Lucifer, it's a pleasure to meet you. And I suppose that the one on the tree branch is also a brother, right? At the end of speaking, a boy with red hair appeared with a pumpkin on his back. Gaara, blah blah blah, you already know the brothers' conversation. Gaara, I'm interested in you. My name is Gaara. Lucifer, well, you should already know mine, but I'll still introduce myself. I am Lucifer Morningstar. Gaara, my mother says she wants to talk to you. Lucifer, thoughts, I think it refers to a chibi. Lucifer, I think he wants to talk to me about this, right? He said to take Ari's arm and put her in front of him, then lift her a little off the ground and start mining back and forth as if she were an object. The redhead just nodded. Lucifer, wow, it seems like he recognized you. Ari, yes, and by the way, could you download me now? She said so that later the blonde will put her down. Lucifer whispering, hey Ari, what bujus are females? Ari, well it's Chome, Matatabi, me and Shikaku, even though she pretends to be a man like I did. Why you ask? Lucifer, for nothing. Lucifer, okay, I think I already know what he wants, so. Okay, but when he does it you will have to reward him. He said she with a smile. Gara, he says okay, you will have a very good reward. Gara only answered what her mother told him about her without knowing what the hell she was referring to or what the meaning of those words was. Temari, well, it's time to go, otherwise we'll be late for the exams. Thus beginning to withdraw. Ari, are you seriously going to buck my sister? Lucifer, is there a problem? Or are you just jealous? She responded with a smile that was growing bigger with every passing second. Before the kitsune spoke, the blonde had already grabbed her by the waist, and then kissed her. Lucifer, don't worry, after the exams you will have what you want, he said and then started walking, followed by his companions after the kitsune recovers. In the exam building. The four of them were going up after meeting Myrto, when they saw a crowd of people trying to enter a room, which was supposedly the one for the exams. Myth, hey now pa. I can't finish since the blonde interrupted her. Lucifer, are you stupid? Myth, why do you tell me that, you idiots? Lucifer, yes, as I said, you are stupid. Don't you see that it is a test to eliminate competition? Mito thought, and then realized and started walking with his team. But something stopped the entire team from walking. Menma, hey now you can dispel the illusion, you are not fooling me since I am the son of the Hokage. Those who knew about the test looked at him in a bad way, but there was someone who spoke. Lucifer, yes, the Hokage's son. Who is so stupid that he doesn't realize that it is a test to eliminate the competition if you are stupid but very stupid but stupid as hell. Not for a while. Stupid as hell and forever, you are going to die and you are going to continue being stupid, you are stupid. Everyone present began to laugh at how he had insulted Menma, since the aforementioned did not know how to respond. At the end, when they were going to enter, a boy in completely green clothing challenged Sasuke. Chapter 13. Sasuke was standing in front of the boy in green who was in a combat stance. Lucifer already had an idea of who he was. Rock Lee, your heir is one of the strongest in this exam. If I manage to beat you, I will be one step ahead of achieving my goal. Sasuke Passo. Rock Lee, what? Sasuke, what happened? Are you deaf? I don't want to fight, I'm lazy. Lucifer, come on Sasuke, look at him, he's very excited. Are you going to destroy someone's illusions just like that? Sasuke, yes. And besides, you're not the one to talk. Lucifer, you are a monster without feelings. Sasuke, I repeat that you are not the one to talk. And no, I will not fight. Lucifer, well, you've already touched my balls. You're going to fight now if you don't want to be alone with Cerberus for a night. Lucifer said in a voice so terrifying it would scare Madara himself. At that the Uchiha quickly got into a combat position. Sasuke, Lee, let's fight. The aforementioned did not object and they began to fight. Everything is like the original story, except that Lee doesn't beat him up, since Sasuke is much stronger. He just doesn't want to reveal his abilities. He may be many things, but he's not stupid. Rock Lee was about to finish his technique until someone interrupted him. Guy, Reed. The aforementioned stopped and looked towards where the voice came from. Those present did the same, only for large drops of sweat to fall from their necks. At the top of a balcony was a man in a turtle suit. And blah blah blah. The original story happens. Lucifer, I'm going to pretend I haven't seen anything. Thus everyone arrived at the room, whereupon entering they saw many waiting for the test. Lucifer, wow. I think I'm going to have a very, very good time in these exams. But someone broke the blonde's happiness into 1,000 pieces. Sakura, Sasuke-kun. Lucifer, oh God, please no, not again. It already took me one dinner with my ex-parents to get her off my back, and now I'll have to put up with her during exams. There is no way. No sir, let's make a deal. I swear that after this I will come visit you, only if you make me shut up. Think about it, it will be beneficial for both of us. I don't listen to her and neither do you. What do you say? Immediately afterwards, the voice of the pink movie could no longer be heard. When the blonde turned around, he saw Sakura with a ribbon in her mouth, which apparently could not be removed, since the pink one tried but nothing. Lucifer, thank you, a deal is a deal. After these exams I will come to see you. Thus, more people began to arrive, including Shikamaru and Kiba. The bad thing was that Lucifer no longer remembered them. That's how everything in the original story happened, only Lucifer didn't pay attention to Kabuto. Ibiki, very well, brats, you can sit in your assigned places. So everyone did what they said. Ibiki, well, this exam will be written. Lucifer, what the hell is a bucking piece of paper with ink going to do us any good on the battlefield? How else to kill an enemy out of boredom? I don't understand. Ibiki, this is my test and whatever I say will be true. Don't talk again or I'll deduct points from you. Lucifer, you can't. You still haven't made your shitty rules. Ibiki, more and more, but when the exam starts I won't give you a single one. Lucifer, let's see if it's true. So Ibiki telling him about the rules and making the exam begin. Lucifer, hey guys, you know what the test is about, right? Sasuke, how the buck can you talk in my head? He said, quite disturbed in his mind. Lucifer, do you know how a Bijou communicates with his Jinchuriki? Sasuke, sure. Lucifer, well, I'm doing something similar now. Myth, whatever you say, loser. But tell us how to do the damn test. Lucifer, shhhh, you relax me. Well, like Hiba saying. Shit, I forgot. Ari, really? It hasn't even been 10 seconds. Lucifer, wait a moment, it's on the tip of my tongue. Sasuke, well, you cut it out and paste it on the paper, hehe. When he finished speaking, he saw how his colleagues looked at him with a serious face. Sasuke, I can make shitty jokes too, what's wrong with Lucifer being the only one who can? Lucifer, well, of course, shit, I'm the only one. Well, I remember now. The test is to copy without getting caught, which is why the rules are so permissive. In another exam, if they catch you copying which Uchiha, they will expel you. In this case, however, you lose points. They catch him. Myth, yes, but how are we going to copy with so many eyes? She said, looking at Ibiki's assistants. Lucifer, easy, you just watched. Then the blonde stopped time and then got up. Lucifer, very well, who is it that has answered everything? So he walked around the room exchanging tests from his team with those from another team. When he finished, he sat down and made time pass. Lucifer, that's it, look at your exams. Immediately afterwards, his classmates looked at his exam to be surprised. Myth, the exams are complete. Lucifer, well, of course, asshole, the answer isn't going to be scribbles. By the way, I left you a note at the bottom of the page. Sasuke thoughts, having written this. Post data Lucifer. Primate, otherwise, seriously do it, it looks like a duck's ass. Sasuke thought, no shit? Then he took out a kunai to see his hair, and indeed it looked like a duck's butt. Post data from Ari's exam. How you like it, romantically like this with petals, candles, a dinner, romantic music, or getting straight to the point. Also if you like to be dominated or the other way around, even though with me the second will not be possible. The kitsune could only smile and become more impatient for the exams to end. Post data from the Mito exam. Plain and simple. Bitch. Reading that, Mito could only frown and break the pencil he was holding in his hands. Con Lucifer. This one was playing with some cards, making these appear and disappear. Seeing that, Ibiki approached. Ibiki, what are you doing, Lucifer? He said in the form of a question, which surprised most since Ibiki had always treated the examinees like children. What they didn't know was that Iruzen had already warned him that he would not play with the blonde, because in the end it would be the blonde who would play with him. Lucifer, not much, play a little cards. You sign up? Ibiki, okay, I hope you finished the exam. Lucifer, of course. By the way, before starting I warn you that whoever loses the most times will do what the winner says. Ibiki, okay, let's start. So they started playing cards. Meanwhile at the Hokage Tower, there were all the Jounin, the Hokage, Airuzen, Mikoto, Itachi and Penemu, which no one had any idea of how they had gotten in, but they didn't take it into account. Airuzen, poor Ibiki, look, I warned him. What awaits him, he said looking at his sphere, which showed the exam room. Minato, why does Airuzen say that? Airuzen, because I played with him once, except that what was at stake was about $500,000 on each side. In the end I lost everything, but he didn't lose a single cent. That amazed everyone, since not even the best shinobi in the world could do such a feat. Kuramai, I doubt that little boy could do anything to affect Ibiki. Airuzen, ha ha ha, you don't know Lucifer. He is Satan in person, he always finds something to annoy, torture, screw, belittle and many other things. The only one who hasn't done anything yet is me, apart from fleecing me in the game. As he finished saying that, someone knocked on the door. When Minato let the person pass, Konohamaru could be seen, who was entering through the door. Konohamaru, grandfather. How are babies born? Airuzen, I already explained it to you once. Konohamaru, Lucifer told me it's a lie. Airuzen, very well, I have no choice but to tell you the truth. Immediately afterwards Airuzen opened an envelope from where it was. A huge plasma TV came out. Airuzen thought, thank goodness Lucifer didn't remember that he gave me this video so that Konohamaru wouldn't be so upset. He thought about releasing an album, which he put on the DVD, not knowing that the trauma for Konohamaru was assured with that disc. On television. Lucifer, hello Konohamaru, if you are watching this video it means that you already know that what the old man told you was a lie. Well, today I will explain to you how babies are made. But I'm not alone, a friend of mine will help me, her name is Akino. After finishing speaking, a black-haired woman came out next to the blonde, but something worried the old man, but he didn't care about it. Lucifer, well, I think you already know what a penis and a vagina are, right? The boy just nodded, since he didn't know it was a video. Lucifer, good. Well, the father with his seed inside his penis inserts it through her vagina. Konohamaru, I don't understand. Lucifer, okay, if Konohamaru doesn't understand it, it means two things. 1. He is short-minded. 2. He is very innocent. But don't worry, I have an ace up my sleeve. Akino and Lucifer then left the camera, and after a few seconds Akino fell naked with her legs open, showing the camera her hussy. Lucifer, well, this is a vagina or hussy and this is a penis or hock. Then the blonde showed what made him most proud. The women in the room, including Kushina, were open-mouthed. Meanwhile Airuzen was trying to move but couldn't. When he looked at the ground he saw some seals that prevented his movement. Airuzen, Lucifer, you are a son of a bitch. Mikoto, look how big it is. That's a man not like the ones you have at home. You don't know how much fun I have in bed with him. The women could only nod without taking their eyes off the screen. On the other hand, Kushina only looked at Minato with an angry face, who only felt ashamed, since he was not very gifted in that part of the body. Lucifer, very well Konohamaru, you are going to see how babies are made. Immediately afterwards she began to buck Akino as if there were no tomorrow, in every possible and existing way for half an hour. Since the poor black-haired girl couldn't stand it, and she fainted. Lucifer, and that's how babies are made. Hope it has fit. By the way, those who want to have a good time come to my house. All the women made a mental note to go visit the blonde. Instead, the old man looked at how his grandson was in a corner with an apparent trauma, from which it will be difficult for him to get out for a long time. Chapter 14. Con Lucifer. He was still playing cards with Ibiki. Lucifer, it seems like I'm going to win. I don't know, that's the impression I get. He said looking at how Ibiki was ruined, but he had not lost anything. Ibiki, this is the definitive one, all or nothing, he said to refocus on the game. 2 minutes later. Ibiki, No, how can it be that I lose again? He shouted without understanding how he had lost. Lucifer, well. A deal is a deal. Ibiki could only nod and pay attention to what she would have to do or give. Ibiki, okay, but wait until the exam is over. As he said that, the clock rang, signaling that time had run out. Many, upon hearing it, cursed the blonde and his game, since they had given all their attention to this and had not responded anything. So Ibiki would be the same as in the canon, only more people would leave since no one would give Naruto's speech, and also, they were afraid, since they hadn't answered anything. Ibiki, well, if nothing else, but he couldn't finish since Anko appeared with her characteristic entrance. Anko, very bean brats, I am the Hexy Anko and I am going to be your second examiner. I don't remember what he said other than that it's Hexy, and I can't look for it because of the bucking Wi-Fi that doesn't even come back. I had to steal it from the school. This is unfortunate. Lucifer, could you wait a moment, precious? Someone has to serve their punishment. The purple-haired girl looked at Lucifer with a look of intrigue. Anko, since I like you and you're handsome, I'll wait a little while. She said to pay attention to see what the blonde would say. Lucifer, since I knew I was going to win, I prepared a room where you can do what I tell you. Ibiki, okay. Lucifer, go ahead and you can leave. Immediately after a door came a girl who would make any man drool. Lucifer, since I'm a good person, I'm going to allow you to have an orgy with all those girls, since with that Freddy Krueger face I doubt you'll get wet. Ibiki just looked at the door, seeing at least 10 girls just as hexy as the first one. Ibiki, okay. She said very happily to enter the room. Anko, is that a punishment? She said looking at the blonde. Lucifer, you just wait, he said looking at the purple-haired girl with a devilish smile. Girl, thank you very much, Lucifer, for giving us this man. I promise you that we will have fun like never before. Everyone opened their eyes wide. The one who was most terrified was Ibiki himself. Because? Simple, that girl, like all of them, were men. Ibiki, what the buck? No, I'm leaving. But before leaving he was grabbed by the arm by a man who had a huge hawk. Soon the girls' trapitos began to disappear and Homo, showing that it was an illusion. Immediately afterwards the door closed. Lucifer, ha 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 ha. Everyone looked at the blonde who was laughing like a good evil being. Lucifer, the best of all is that I will have it recorded, ha ha ha. Well, leaving that aside, how long were you going to give us to get to your test? Anko, about 30 minutes for? Lucifer, well, now it will be 2 hours, since I and a few others are going to have a great time. He then appeared next to Anko and then disappeared in her flames. 2 hours later, everyone was already at the agreed-upon place, which was the Forest of Death. Soon they saw Anko leave, somewhat disheveled and with her clothes on badly, and behind her Lucifer came out adjusting his jacket. Imagine Lucifer however you want, since I don't have Wi-Fi. Anko, well, whoever is not present will be eliminated along with their team. So blah blah blah, everything canon until the appearance of Orochimaru. Lucifer, grab it, he said calmly. His companions did as indicated, except for a certain blonde who was blown away by the gust of air. On the other hand, Lucifer continued as if nothing had happened, standing as if it were a breeze. When the wind stopped, a genin appeared on the branch of a tree. Lucifer, it would have been a good entrance if instead of launching that technique and appearing you had appeared and with your power you made the gust of wind look like this, he said to light a cigarette. He then looked at the genin and then with a little power he made a gust of wind 3 times larger than the previous one, making it head towards the girl. She could only open her eyes and jump, and then see how the trees came out. Lucifer, you see, Petakimaru. This is how it is done, but leaving that aside I give you 3 options. 1. You leave and don't come back. 2. You leave to talk business elsewhere later. 3. You stay and I'll kill you. Knowing that Lucifer surpassed him, Orochimaru decided on the latter, thus letting the blonde know and then leaving on foot. So everything would happen like in the canon. Only the sound ones wouldn't appear since Orochimaru didn't give them the order to test Sasuke. When they reached the tower, what they did was simple. Rest and train. In Lucifer's case, it was bucking, partying, and sleeping. And this brings us to the fights, which would be the same, even the fight against Kiba. Kiba, I know I can't win, but at least I'll prove what level I'm at. Lucifer, that's the attitude. Come on, let's go. 3 minutes later. There was Kiba on the ground, foaming at the mouth and apparently convulsing. Lucifer, come on man, it was just a mini genjutsu. He said, disappointed, taking as a mini, an S-rank genjutsu, thus giving Lucifer the winner. Of course, then he would go to fix Kiba's little problem. Thus the fights in the finals would be the same, only that Menma would fight against Lucifer and Nito against Niji. A few days later, Lucifer was in the hot springs, relaxing, and what was strange? Well, he was in the women's hot springs, which were around the blonde. Lucifer, well girls, I had a great time, but I have to do things, he said to the women's disappointment. Thus dressing in a magic circle, then she disappeared into the steam. Lucifer, I notice a little envy towards myself, he said behind a white-haired man who was riding. Jiraiya, what? How did you get here? How can I not notice your presence? He said, quite surprised. Lucifer, that won't matter to you soon. He said he to take the old man to the underworld. Jiraiya, what is this place? She said, looking around, where she could only see women dancing on poles, making it clear to the old man where he was. Lucifer, I think you know where we are. Well, I propose a deal. I'll let you go and do your research with whoever you want in this place. In exchange, your spy network will give me certain information that I want. The old man, seeing that the women were much more beautiful than those he had seen in his entire life, quickly accepted. Jiraiya, very good boy. But where are we? These women are awesome. So Lucifer telling him everything, having the same reaction as everyone. So Lucifer calling a few girls, so that they will immediately take the old pervert away. Lucifer, well, time to close another deal, he said to appear in a forest near Konoha. Orochimaru, I didn't think you'd arrive so quickly. Lucifer, I'm punctual. Well, my deal is this. I give you your much appreciated immortality, and you will do what I tell you. Orochimaru, and how do you do that? He said, something curious. Lucifer, damn, I don't know how many times I'll have to explain my story. Thus telling him everything, and that if he became a demon he would have an almost infinite life. The snake accepted, and then Lucifer made him a servant of Rias, with whom he had already spoken. Lucifer, well, that's all. By the way, I recommend that you change your pedophile attitude. The snake just nodded to go do whatever. Lucifer, shit, tomorrow it's time to go to dinner with my whore mother and the asshole Hokage. And the day after tomorrow I'll go visit God. Thinking about it, it's not so bad. The old man is good in his own way, and I'll also be able to buck Gabriel again, hee. Well, it's time to go to hell a little, he said, disappearing little by little into the shadows made by the trees. The next day. Lucifer, everyone stand up, but now, shit, everyone woke up to go straight to the dining room, where the blonde was waiting for them. Lucifer, very good bunch of useless people. During this month they will train with the leaders of the factions, since you are sad as people. Sasuke, we have feelings, you know? Lucifer, well, ignoring the handicapped person there, I wanted to let you know that tomorrow they will start. Kakashi, wait. You only called us at 2 in the morning to tell us that? Lucifer, yes, why? Itachi, nothing, leave it alone, because I know what you're going to say. Lucifer, ugh, thanks, so I won't waste my time. A few hours later. Lucifer, well, it's time to go to dinner with the Hokage. I hope Menma doesn't touch my balls, since it's going to be 6 very bad nights, ha ha ha, she said, while behind her, in a dark area, red eyes lit up. So the blonde went to Minato's house, and when he saw that his son was knocking on the door, he went to open it quickly. Minato, I'm glad you came here. Lucifer, well, don't get your hopes up that it will be the only time. Thus entering through the door until reaching the dining room. Menma, what are you doing here, loser? Lucifer, nothing, I was just passing by to say hello. No shit. I came to dinner since your father and I made a deal. otherwise I wouldn't be here. By the way, I don't want problems since I want to go out as calmly as possible, so I warn you that if you don't stop yourself from being an idiot, I assure you that you will have 6 very bad nights. So spending dinner? When nothing out of the ordinary happened. Parents trying to convince their son to return, a slightly unfriendly sister and a brother who did not take the warning seriously and did not stop bothering. Not knowing what awaits him for 6 nights. Chapter 15. In luxury. You could see Lucifer, who was sitting at a desk. The strange thing about that was that there were a considerable number of screens, which showed hallways, bedrooms, dining rooms etc. Lucifer, let the game begin he. In Menma's room. He was about to go to sleep, when suddenly he was taken to another place. This place was almost completely dark and deplorable looking. It is the setting for the joy of creation, the Springtrap part. Menma, where am I? He said, very terrified. Lucifer, if I were you, I wouldn't raise my voice. He doesn't like visitors. Menma looked at the floor where there was a walkie-talkie next to a cell phone. Menma quickly grabbed the 2 objects, then spoke in a whisper. Now Menma will speak in a whisper until she returns to her house. Menma, who doesn't like visitors and what am I doing here? Naruto, to begin with, you are here thanks to me. How could you not believe my threat? Well, what now? And your first question will be answered now. Do you see the device that is in your right hand? Well, that's called a mobile phone. With it you can look at various cameras, which will help you avoid encountering him. If you click on the right or left side of the screen, the camera will change. Press twice on the right and you will see who does not like visitors. Menma quickly obeyed, doing what was said, and then was terrified by what he saw. In the camera you could see an animatronic looking towards the camera. It was brown and in a deplorable state. Look for Springtrap, the joy of creation, and you will find it. I think that one is scarier than the one in the 3rd installment. Menma, what the buck is that? Lucifer. His name is Springtrap and he is an animatronic. This one has the characteristic of being alive. He means that he has a conscience. But if I were you, I wouldn't trust him, since he's quick on the nose and knows this place inside and out. He also has a keen ear, that's why I warned you not to make noise, and lastly he sees you as a skeleton which needs to be completed. What would hurt you would be to catch you and put you in a suit just like the one of the. But the bad thing is that those suits have connectors which will go through you and kill you. But in this case what you do will be the same, but when you die to get into one of those suits you will go back to the beginning. Only that another animatronic will be added to the game. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Menma, sorry. Do whatever you ask but just don't leave me here, she said, almost crying. Lucifer, too late. And now you can hurry up to meet the objectives, since Springtrap has already started moving, he said to cut off the communication. An upset Menma looked at the camera, seeing that it was true, the animatronic was not in its place. In a few moments he heard footsteps and then turned around. What he saw was that monster running towards him at full speed. Menma, thinking quickly, began to run as if there was no tomorrow. What scared him the most was that he heard footsteps and saw a red light that was getting closer. He quickly turned a corner, which unfortunately for him there was nothing. Just a wall. When he turned around he saw Springtrap standing at the door looking at him, then he began to slowly approach. Menma, in an effort to survive, tried to do a jutsu. But he realized that he couldn't do it. When he looked up he saw how the animatronic jumped at him, and then tortured him and put him in a suit. Menma opened his eyes and saw how he was at the beginning. She quickly began to leave that place. Lucifer, hello. Hello. Well, I think you can hear me, don't worry because it was spoken very loudly, they don't detect me. Well, I'm talking to you to inform you about the new animatronic. This one is called Boney. He is a bit peculiar. He is very aggressive, so if you meet him he tries to hide you, because if he sees you, he will assume you are dead. This is what he looks like. He said so that an image appeared on the mobile. Look for Boney, the joy of creation, the one who has no face. Menma could only hold on tighter, and what he did was search faster. Thus passing several hours, in which she had already died several times. The one that terrified him the most was Boni's. Menma was hiding in a closet, but he was so unlucky that Boni saw him. When Menma was going to come out, he suddenly saw a red eye appear through the cracks in the closet. Boni then went through the closet to drag poor Menma out. What he did was the same as Springtrap, only more violent. After dying several times, the active animatronics were next. All of the joy of creation says that those are very well done. Freddy, which bothered the most, since he was very patient, and when you trusted him he would screw everything up. Girl, who distracted you with her cupcakes, what she did was start following you without killing you, unless you didn't do what you had to do, which was look for the cupcakes and destroy them. If you didn't do it within a certain time, she would kill you. Foxy, one of the most annoying, since with his great speed and his scanner, it made it almost impossible for you to escape, since with his speed he would catch up with you in a moment, and his scanner would detect you even if you were hiding inside or behind something, which all you had to do was not be in his field of vision. Balloon Boy, this one by far was the most screwed up, since if he saw you he would follow you to society. The bad thing was that he called the other animatronics. What you had to do was get away from him, except that since he is very close it was very difficult. And many more which I am not going to say because otherwise it would be eternal. In the end Menma managed to overcome his torture, but with the consequence of having a lifelong trauma. Con Lucifer. He had gotten up and then made all the animatronics appear. Lucifer, thank you very much guys. You've helped me a lot, so you know, if you need anything, just call me. Freddy, no problem Lucifer. We really had a good time guys, everyone else just nodded. Springtrap, well, it's time to go. I hope you have fun, see you another day. She said to disappear along with the others. Lucifer, well, one less thing. There's only tomorrow I have to see the old man and that's it. He said to go to sleep, since he had been up until 4 o'clock watching Menma. On the next night. Lucifer, well, it's time to go with the old man. I think Menma will think that's it. A shame she still has 5 more nights left. Immediately afterwards she disappeared from the Lux. Then she appeared in what seemed like a huge room. God, you have finally arrived, he said with a soft voice that echoed throughout the place. Lucifer, yes. They then stared at each other for a few minutes until. God, what's up son of a bitch, how did it go? Lucifer, damn old man. God, surely the only thing you've done is buck and buck, right? Lucifer, how do you know me old man? He responded to start making a kind of date with God. God, well, what are you saying? Lucifer, well, not much apart from what you already know. God, I understand. And how are you getting along with Michael? Lucifer, well, I get along well even though it seems. You know. He's one of those guys who likes to bite pillows. God, shit, I don't think I knew how to guide him along the way. Lucifer, it's okay, you still love him. God, yes. But well, what's going to happen? If you like biting pillows, do it. Michael, hello, father. God damn, son, you've scared me. Michael, father, please don't say those things. God, we've already started. Don't get it into your head that insulting is not a sin, as long as you don't say it with bad intentions. Lucifer, by the way, are you gay? Michael, not for? Lucifer, well, it seems like it. I haven't seen you with any woman even once. Speaking of women, I have to do one thing. He said to leave the room. God, there is Va. My favorite son, a shame that he doesn't stop sinning. Michael, father, I'm here. God, SSSHHHH, don't worry, you're number 13. He said, hugging Michael, who was depressed since his brothers from hell, Grigory and Heaven were above him, who was the last one. This is how the month passed, where Lucifer went partying, while his friends trained with the faction leaders. In this month each one had the level of a low-level Kage, of course if they gave their 100%, making them tired quickly. On the other hand, Naruto's brothers trained until they reached the same level as they had with Ari's chakra. So they were stuck. The day had arrived, the Colosseum was full of spectators, both civilians, ninjas, merchants etc. Azazel, Serzex and Michael were present broadcasting the battles that would take place. Jiraiya was also present, who was present when he had to give information to Lucifer. Minato was sitting next to his wife, somewhat worried, since they had found out that the Sand Kage had died at the hands of Orochimaru, and also since their children had not moved forward. The third Hokage was happy, since he would see his adopted grandson in action. Next to him was Konohamaru, which had already recovered thanks to Lucifer. Since he wasn't going to harm a relative of his grandfather, he only did it to screw around and that's it. All the combatants were already ready in the center of the arena. The instructor, who was Aight, who had not been murdered, gave the names of the first fighters. Chapter 16. The first to fight were Mito versus Neji, which would be the same as Naruto. Only instead of using Ari's chakra he would use the Rasengan. So they would all be equal until the battle of Menma versus Lucifer. The two brothers were in the center of the arena prepared for combat. Lucifer thoughts, "I think I'm going to scare people a little, hee," he said while a devilish smile appeared on his face. "Menma, what are you laughing at? I'm going to pay you for what happened a few weeks ago." "Lucifer, you mean my animatronic friends? Let me tell you, you still have 5 nights left, hee." Menma could only get angrier, to the point that when the instructor started the fight he rushed out against Lucifer. Lucifer did not flinch and remained still in his place. When Menma was close enough he kicked him in the stomach, making him double over in pain. He then hit him again with a spinning kick to the face, sending Menma flying against the wall of the stadium. "Lucifer, look, you're impatient, can't you wait a little while I'll get ready?" "Well, it doesn't matter." Zangetsu. Immediately afterward, a sword began to appear in the shadows in Lucifer's hand. "Lucifer, meet Zangetsu, this is my best sword. Even though you won't see her for a long time, hee. Immediately afterwards the blonde made a cut in the air, making many people wonder, but suddenly a red energy shot towards Menma, who could only jump to the side and watch as the energy left a cut in the ground below his step. "Lucifer, I call this technique Getsuga Tensho. But this was just a warning of what awaits you." "Menma, what are you talking about?" "Lucifer, this sword or Zanpakuto has various stages. Now it is in its released form, but I doubt it is worth it. So I give you 5 minutes to entertain me. When time runs out I assure you that you will have a bad time." Tututututuchururu. Menma thought, what the hell is he doing? She thought, watching as Lucifer began to hum a song. "Lucifer, Tututugetsuga Thensu," he said suddenly, making the same attack. Menma miraculously dodged it again. "Lucifer, well, enough of the bullshit. Take," he said, throwing a sword at her. "Lucifer, this sword is indestructible. This way it will last the 5 minutes. 5 minutes later. 5 minutes had already passed, where you could see a quite injured Menma and a Lucifer with his hands in his pockets, and with only a little dust on his clothes. "Lucifer, well, it was good. But it's time for you to have a hard time." He then began to release a tremendous wave of murderous instinct. "Lucifer, go ahead, I'll let you hit me with your strongest attack," he said as he left the way clear for Menma to attack. The aforementioned did not hesitate, and quickly created a Rasengan with his maximum power. When he got close enough he hit Lucifer with the Rasengan, who did nothing, causing Lucifer to launch himself until he collided with the wall of the Colosseum. "Menma, you deserve it, that's what makes you confident and weak." When he was about to leave, a deep, distorted voice spoke. From the smoke Lucifer was seen looking like a white demon with red paint. The clothes he was wearing had been torn and only protected a little of his legs. What surprised the most was his mask and tail. "Lucifer, very good. It's time to play little brother, ha 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 ha." Lucifer then launched himself at Menma, who could do nothing to avoid the blow, which sent him crashing against the wall. Lucifer, dissatisfied, grabbed Menma's head and with great force pressed it against the wall. "Lucifer, does it hurt? Oh, what a shame. Why don't I plan to stop for a while?" he said, and then started running, while he still had his brother with her head buried in the wall, causing him to leave a strip where Menma's head passed. When Lucifer crossed half of the stadium, he pulled Menma out of the wall, then grabbed his leg and began to slam him against the floor and the wall. When there was a large crater on the ground and the wall was no longer there, Lucifer threw Menma with such force into the center of the arena that he unleashed a wave of wind. "Lucifer, come on, little brother, I haven't had fun yet," he said, looking at Menma, who was upset. "Lucifer, I'm going to do a resistance test with you. At the moment you're at a 5. So let's go to the next level." Menma could only raise his head to see Lucifer carrying a red sphere in her hand and throwing it at her. "Lucifer, if you can resist it, ha ha ha, 0. Menma tried to defend himself, but it was useless, causing the attack to hit him squarely. "Lucifer, ha ha ha, your score is now 6, let's move on to the next level." Menma couldn't do anything when Lucifer positioned himself behind him and sent him into the sky. "Lucifer, get ready, because if you survive you will have a score of 10, ha ha ha." Immediately afterwards a red and black dome surrounded Lucifer. After a few seconds it exploded, revealing Lucifer in his demonic form. But when he was going to throw another 0, someone stopped him. "Minato, Naruto, stop it!" Lucifer just glanced at Minato, then launched the 0 against Menma. Seeing that, Minato launched his characteristic kunai and then performed one of the skills that made him famous: the Flying Thunder God Jutsu. When he had positioned himself behind his son, he turned to grab him and prevent the 0 from hitting him. But when he turned around he saw something that terrified him. "Lucifer, boo!" He then hit Minato, crashing him into the Hokage's box. When Minato composed himself he saw how his 2 children were hit by the 0. Kushina, seeing that, was on edge since she didn't know if they would survive. The men were murmuring things like he was the real devil and things like that, which were completely right. And the women? Well, they were coming to see Lucifer's body and the aura he gave off. But everyone was surprised to see how Menma fell to the ground unconscious, but there was no sign of Lucifer. "Lucifer, what are they doing looking at the ground?" Everyone raised their heads to see how Lucifer emerged from the smoke screen, still in his demonic form, and without any damage. Most of them were even more surprised since Lucifer was floating in the air. "Zabuza, hey Lucifer, how the hell are you floating?" "Lucifer, because I am God, bahahaha." "Kakashi, you and I know that you are not God. The most correct thing would be its counterpart." "Lucifer, shut up, Kaka. Don't you see that I almost had the whole world in my palm? I am your God, who is much more handsome than the previous one, since the old man is uglier than shit inside." After finishing the sentence I quickly write a ray of light. "Lucifer, okay, I'll stop. If he can't stand a little joke, well, I would call the doctors. Why else would the arrogant child give the palm?" Immediately afterwards the instructor called the doctors, which took Menma to the hospital. After a few minutes everyone returned to normal, including Lucifer, which was already in his human form. He only went to where Gaara was to stand in front of him. "Lucifer, first of all I want to tell you that after this, look for me at the Lux. Second, Gaara, I have to fix that seal for you since whoever did it was really bad." The redhead just nodded for Lucifer to start. The blonde, upon seeing the nod, only made a line and separated. "Lucifer, that's it. It turned out perfect." "Gaara, already? So fast?" "Lucifer, yes, what else did you want?" The redhead did not say anything and went towards the center of the arena, since he had been called. This is how the battle of Gaara versus Sasuke would happen, which he would win with a little trouble. A few hours after the tournament, Lucifer was called to the council. "Lucifer, very good, what do they want now?" "Minato, Naruto, we want you to accompany Jiraiya to find Tsunade." "Lucifer, and for what reason? I have more important things, you know?" "Minato, the reason is because you left Menma in a very bad state. And the only one who can quote it is her. And we have called you since the council has decided that you will accompany Jiraiya as a way of asking for forgiveness." "Lucifer, very good. But I only accept because I will be able to have fun, but yes. Let it be clear that I am not doing this to ask for forgiveness, and regarding you civil advice. I assure you that you will soon pass on to the other world. But before I leave I have to do certain things," he said to disappear. On the street of a hotel. "Lucifer, there. If it is the address of where the Sand brothers are staying," he said, and then entered the hotel. When he was passing through reception, someone stopped him. Employee, hey devil, you can't be here, so. She couldn't finish as Lucifer pulled out a gun and shot her in the head. Lucifer, blah blah blah. Does anyone else want to talk nonsense and end up 3 meters underground? Everyone remained silent. Lucifer, no? Very well, I hope you don't bother me, he said to start walking towards the rooms. Once he arrived at the door indicated on the paper that Tamari gave him, he knocked on the door. But there was no response. So him being Lucifer and being so patient did what every Aryan person does. He opened the door with AC4. The Sand brothers were shocked to see how the door and most of the wall were pulverized by the explosion. Through the smoke, Lucifer could be seen walking towards them. Tamari, was there a need to blow up the door and the wall? Lucifer, I knocked on the door and no one answered, he said as he shrugged. Tamari, well, why did you come? Lucifer, to free Shikaka from Gara. Don't worry, he won't die. That calmed the blonde down, and then she spoke. Tamari, there's Bien. But why now? Lucifer, I have to go and I need someone to keep me company. Kankuro, how will a huge raccoon that is feared by all nations keep you company? Lucifer, you will soon see. Chapter 17. Khan Lucifer. He was already inside the seal, seeing that there was only sand. Lucifer, shit, now I'm going to get sand in my shoes, he said as he walked towards a large pyramid. When he arrived, he could see a door on which he put a seal. When he opened the door, he could see a huge room, which was empty. Lucifer, it seems like you're ready, right? As he finished speaking, a door opened revealing a dark-skinned woman with yellow eyes and loose, sandy-colored hair down to her waist. It's the same as Yurochi, only with loose, sand-colored hair. Lucifer, I think you're ready, right? The girl only felt to begin to disappear. In the real world, the Sand brothers saw how a reddish chakra came out of Gara's body, and then dissipated, revealing the girl from before. Lucifer, well, that's it. Now I just need to know what your name is. Shuna, my name is Shuna, and I think I have to reward you, no? She said as she approached the blonde. Shikaka's name is provisional. Tell me what name I give him since I'm very bad at making it up. Lucifer, I'm sorry but I'll have to reject it, for now, since you're coming with me on the trip. Shuna only nodded, somewhat disappointed. Lucifer, well, since I don't want shit in my mafia, I'm going to train you. Of course the training will be very hard and maybe someone will take the cake. Cough cough, Kankuro cough cough. The brothers nodded, but a certain brother was scared. Kankuro, and when do we start? He asked, scared but determined. Lucifer, today, so Gara, Tamari, you can go to field number 10, I will stay with Kankuro. The two brothers accepted, and then left. Lucifer, very good Kankuro, he said while he pulled out a gun, more accurately the Desert Eagle. Kankuro, Lucifer, what are you doing? I asked, even more scared. Lucifer, nothing special, it's just that whoever writes this story doesn't find any use for you. Kankuro, what are you talking about? Lucifer, goodbye, he said to start shooting her all over her body. Kankuro, being on the edge of a window, broke it with her body and fell into the void. With the brothers of the Sand. They were leaving the hotel, when suddenly Kankuro's body fell to the ground, exploding and leaving him unrecognizable. The brothers just looked up, watching Lucifer's head pop out over the edge. Lucifer, I had told him that he will not lean on the crystal, he didn't listen to me and he died because of a fool. The brothers looked at him, then looked at Kankuro. They then passed by as if nothing had happened. Lucifer thoughts, wow, how much appreciation they had for Kankuro, a little more and they commit suicide from sadness. Shuna, and now where are we going? Lucifer, let's go to the gates of Konoha, Jiraiya is waiting for us. So the two began to walk towards the door. Once they arrived, they met the perverted sage, who upon seeing Shuna began to harass her. Which didn't last thanks to a small threat from the blonde. So the three began to walk without speaking much, but a certain wise man decided to speak. Jiraiya, well, Lucifer, I know that you are the king of the underworld and that you are extremely strong. But how about I teach you a technique? Lucifer, and which one would it be? He asked, knowing more or less where she was going. Jiraiya, it is the fourth technique, the Rasengan. He said as he created one in his hand and turned around, then remained speechless. The reason was that Lucifer had the Rasengan in his hand, only it was red with black touches. Jiraiya, when? Lucifer, I learned it when I was in the underworld. I have also improved it. He said to create a Rasen shuriken. I then throw it to a random address. Jiraiya, you know what? Buck off. They continued walking like that until a certain Bijou spoke. Shuna, hey, it'll be nice if you threw that technique at a random place. Lucifer, calm down, as if he were going to destroy a town by randomly launching the technique. Meanwhile, in a nearby town. In the town you could see families without any worry, until Lucifer's Rasen shuriken appeared and eradicated that happiness, along with the town's inhabitants, leaving only a crater. Con Lucifer. Lucifer, yep, there's only 1% of that happening. Shuna, well, if you say so, she said to continue on her way. Once they arrived at the first town, the first thing they did was enter a hotel where as soon as they arrived, Lucifer took out the clerk. He realizes that Lucifer has to keep his name high at the top of evil things. Leaving that aside, they began to enter the rooms, since they did not know which one was empty. What they found was the following. The first thing they saw was an iron Sharpay. 2, an octopus which is left-handed, 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 left at the last minute. 3, a centipede with sprains. 4, a dolphin at the beginning. 5, a little Vietnamese pig who knew how to read. They began to listen until someone spoke. Jiraiya, I don't hear anything. Lucifer, there are idiots that the pig knows how to read, not speak. We are not going to demand. But if you stay looking at him for a while you will see that his eyes are very close together, and every time he reads he frowns, not to mention that he changes the page every 5 minutes. 6, a cockroach that does have one because it is missing both legs on the back. 7, a kangaroo who was a pedophile. 8, a mole that saw. 9, a zebra which does not pass. 10, a camel that does. 11, there were 2 elefantas, 1 orange and 1 lemon. 12, a panda in a Renault. When they finished with the panda they finally managed to find an empty room. Jiraiya, well, I'm going to do my research so I'll leave you here. He said to leave, leaving Lucifer and Shuna alone, who soon caught up. 1 hour later. Someone was knocking on a certain blonde's door until he opened it. Lucifer, what do you want? I'm busy, he said as he looked at a man, who looked more like a shark, who was wearing a black cape with red clouds. Kisame, boy, we found out that you took your brother's QB and set it free. We want to know where it is. Lucifer, would you give me 1 hour to finish my business? He said, looking into the room where a certain Bijou appeared covering herself with the blankets. Kisame, oh sorry, I'll be waiting here until you finish. Lucifer, thank you, he said to close the door. Another hour later. Lucifer opened the door to find Kisame sitting there waiting for him. Lucifer, very good, that's it. What were you saying? Kisame, I want you to take me to where the QB is. Lucifer, before that. Wasn't it that Akatsuki people always went in pairs? Kisame, that's right, only there was no one to match me. Lucifer, hey, poor quote, I'll fix that in a second, he said to snap his fingers and make Itachi appear. Lucifer, very good Itachi, put on this cape and pretend to be poor Kisame's partner. Itachi just looked at them and then obeyed. Itachi, good. Now you will tell us where QB is. Lucifer, no. He then closed the door. Kisame, Itachi, could you knock under the door? Itachi just nodded to break down the door. They reveal a total emptiness. Kisame, why is everything dark? You see something? Itachi, no. Look closer to see if you see anything. Kisame obeyed and bowed. Kisame, nada. Lucifer, yes, if you look closely you will see me at the end, he said behind Kisame. The shark came closer. Kisame, I still haven't seen you. Lucifer, Damn, you have to be blind. Lucifer then kicked Kisame, causing him to fall into the void. Itachi, where did you send it? Lucifer, to a shitty place. With Kisame. He continued falling until he hit the ground. When he got up, he could see how he had landed on a mountain of shit. Con Lucifer. Well, that's it, all that's left is for the old pervert to return. You can go now, Itachi. The Uchiha just nodded to disappear. Lucifer, well, where was I going? So. He then entered the room to lock himself in with Shuna for 2 more hours. The next day they looked for Tsunade, but no one found her, until at dusk they entered a restaurant/bar to have something to eat, and were surprised to find that a certain Senju was there. Jiraiya, hey Tsunade, how have you been? Tsunade, Jiraiya, what are you doing here? Jiraiya, well, the Hokage has asked us to return to the village for a matter. Tsunade, I'm not coming back. Besides, the position of Hokage is only for people who want to die soon. Lucifer, I'm not going to deny it to you. But how about we make a bet, old lady? The Senju just glared at the blonde for what he had called her. Tsunade, what kind of bet, tadpole? Lucifer, upon hearing those words, only smiled in a devilish way while his eyes turned red and he looked at Tsunade, who became quite uncomfortable. Lucifer, if I beat you in a fight, you will come to the village with us without any excuse, and if you win I will pay all your debts for life. Tsunade, to listen to the challenge, and what she could win, accepted without thinking. Outside the restaurant/bar. Jiraiya, Tsunade, I recommend that you not underestimate Lucifer. I warn you that he is a person to be feared. Tsunade, what are you saying, Jiraiya? Surely age has affected you. He said to look back at the blonde, who was no longer there. Lucifer, I think that whoever has been affected by age has been you old. Tsunade turned to see Lucifer behind her, who grabbed her neck while the hollow mask formed on her face. Lucifer, I'll only need 1 finger to win. He said to throw a Tsunade at a house, destroying it in the process. Tsunade stood up to quickly attack Lucifer with all his strength, who stopped the blows with a finger in true Jiren style. When Tsunade stopped, she could not react to the blow that Lucifer gave her with his finger, which left her unconscious. Lucifer, and that's how you win a bet. If you'll excuse me, I want to return to Konoha soon, I have women waiting for me. Chapter 18. Lucifer was about to leave when someone stopped him. Shizen, Lucifer, I'm sorry for what teacher did. Lucifer, and what has he done? Shizen, accepting the challenge, even though you won doesn't mean it's disrespectful. Meanwhile, what Lucifer was listening to. Shizen, blah 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 and more blah blah blah. Lucifer, Shizen, blah 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 blah. Lucifer, yes. Shizen, blah 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 blah, and for that I apologize. Lucifer, apart from the fact that I haven't listened to you, I tell you that what you told me is worth 3 hectares of shit. But yes, you're hot, so I accept your apology, since that's the only thing I've heard. But with one condition. Shizen, and what would that condition be? She said, a little angry at what the blonde had told her. Lucifer, simple. The next morning, you could see Lucifer leaving a room, where behind him was Shizen wearing only underwear. Lucifer thoughts, well, a productive night. He asked me what the boys had done. In Konoha, at night. Kakashi, shit, I think we went too far this time. Sasuke, I think it's fine. He replied the jet while he carried a camera in his hands. Kakashi, it's not fun, your brother has drunk too much and can do things that harm us. Sasuke, you're lying, I know you're loving this. Kakashi, no. Well, yes, but that's beside the point. But they fell silent when they heard screams, which came from a mansion far from the town. Sasuke, I think I know where my brother has gone. So they headed towards the mansion. Upon entering, they could see a woman next to her husband, which was Fugaku. Sasuke, ha ha ha, you see how funny it was. We already know that shit Fugaku won't have offspring, ha ha ha. Kakashi, you know that you are his son, right? Sasuke, not anymore. When I joined Lucifer, he took away everything that existed of any connection with this shit. He said, pointing at Fugaku. Kakashi, well, it doesn't matter, let's go. But when they were going to leave, they heard someone. That someone was Itachi, who was up on a poster, making this happen. Sasuke, ha 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 ha, and then you say it's not funny, ha ha ha. You'll see Mikoto when she sees it, ha ha ha. She's crazy for not having Lucifer. Kakashi, sighed poor Itachi. Today he is left without a father, and most likely he will be left without offspring because of his mother. Lucifer. Lucifer, well, I don't think I've missed anything, and if not, I hope they have it recorded. So they continued on their way. So a few days passed where everyone got to know each other better. In the end, Tsunade got along very well with the blonde, only for the simple reason that he also played, only if he won. Of course he won without cheating, cough cough, stop time, cough cough. In the end they returned to Konoha, where they spoke with Minato about Tsunade's return. Lucifer, well, we have already brought the lady. Tsunade, don't call me old. Lucifer, I haven't done it, but if you take it for granted it will be for a reason. Well, leaving that aside, can you let me go now? Minato, no Naruto, I still have to tell you some things. But when she looked back at the blonde, he was already leaving. Minato, hey, I still have to inform you of something. Lucifer, I don't give a shit, Jiraiya, let me know when you go to the club. The Sannin just nodded to watch as Naruto left the room. Lucifer, very well, now what can I do? I know. In the house of the Inuzuka clan. Kiba was in the dining room with his mother when someone knocked on the door. Kiba vs. Abrier. Kiba, why me? Can't my sister go? Go open it, she said with a deadly look towards Kiba. Kiba, okay. But my sister is coming next. So she headed towards the entrance, and then opened the door, showing a smiling Lucifer. Lucifer, hello. Kiba, no. He then closed the door, leaving the blonde outside. Who was it? Kiba, nobody, he was just a person who I don't want to be around certain people. But a few seconds later they heard the door and a voice. Lucifer, ding dong. Hannah, I'm going to kick him out of here. Kiba, no, let him get tired. I have experience with him, and if you leave it will be worse. Lucifer, ding dong. A few minutes passed like this when a sound alerted Kiba. This sound was like something being put inside a metal tube. Kiba, no, I'm coming, he said as he stood up. Hannah and Sim followed Kiba. When they reached the hallway they saw how the entire wall was destroyed by an explosion. As the smoke cleared, Lucifer was seen with an RPG. Lucifer, I said, ding dong, son of a bitch. Kiba, I shit on your bucking mother, have you seen what you've done? Lucifer, it's okay, you won't live here anymore. Sim, what do you mean? Lucifer, damn, now let's tell everything from the beginning. I have to buy a bucking recorder. First let's go to your new house, he said to start walking, followed by the family. Once they arrived, Lucifer began to explain to Kiba's mother and sister everything we already know. Lucifer, and that would be it. I know you're surprised, but too. I don't give a shit since I have things to do. Bye bye. Immediately afterwards she disappeared. In the underworld. Surzex, bucking paperwork, bucking day, bucking Lucifer. Lucifer, I what? Surzex, AAA. Greedo's super viral. Lucifer, ha 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 ha, what was that shit? Ha 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 ha, please, and you call yourself a man. Surzex, I was singing and a rooster came out. Lucifer, yes yes, whatever you say. You'll see when I tell the old man, ha ha ha. He decided that he wouldn't even talk to you anymore. Graphia, I agree with Lucifer. Lucifer, AAAA. Another super manly scream. Surzex, and what was that? Lucifer, I was singing, he said calmly. Graphia, wow, you really sing well. Surzex, and he goes and believes it. I shit on my bucking life, with how happy I was as a child. Lucifer, well, on topic, I want to invite you to come to the human world for a party. You will also be able to see the village, and most important of all, Buck Minma. Surzex, okay, but what about the bucking paperwork? Lucifer, haven't I taught you how to make colones with magic for something? I think you're the only one who doesn't use them. Surzex, upon hearing the answer, only turned towards his table, and in one movement threw it to the ground with a face of pure anger. Surzex, pura videia. Meanwhile, a certain redhead approached the door of her brother's office. When she opened it, she could see her brother with a knife next to Graphia and Lucifer holding it. Lucifer, and calm down mentally. Surzex, no years doing the damn paperwork, years of my long and almost immortal life wasted on those evil papers, and now I find out that I could make colones? Come on, don't buck with me, let me in my life, son of a bitch. Meanwhile, Rias could only look WTF, and then close the door. Thus Lucifer managed to calm the redhead, and then go talk to the other leaders. Lucifer, finally, now I will be able to spend quality time with my girls. Well, it's time to go back and... Suddenly the cell phone started ringing. Lucifer, and break the legs of the son of a bitch who calls me now. Who the buck is he? Penemu, Morningstar, how dare you address me like that? Lucifer, shhhh, you relax me. First, I didn't know it was you, and second, why are you calling me? Penemu, I wanted to find out more about going to the human world, since I know you and I doubt you would take everyone for just one party. Lucifer, ha ha ha, how do you know me? If there is something else, but it can't be said yet. Penemu, very good. Bye bye. Lucifer, goodbye. Well, that's it. Now for home. In luxury. Everyone was in the dining room watching TV, only Sasuke is turning on the camera. Lucifer, what have I missed? Everyone AAA. Men, supermanly screams. Again. Lucifer, but what about the screams? And especially what happens with men? Everyone screams like girls. Men, we were singing. Lucifer, it doesn't work, all the leaders have already used that excuse. But leaving that aside. What were they doing? Sasuke, you just watch and observe. Thus putting Itachi's video, in the end it ended with everyone laughing, while a very furious Uchiha crushed Itachi's balls saying something to, I swear I will castro you my way, which was to crush his balls. In the end everyone went to sleep except Lucifer and his girls. The next day Lucifer woke up and then went to the dining room, there he could see a lot of people. Lucifer, but what the buck? In the center of the room were all the leaders along with the 3 dragon gods plus the 2 dragon emperors. There was also Issei and Vala with their team, there was also Yasaka and her daughter. Even God, who had sunglasses with a smile. God, and where is the party, and the drugs, and the women, please, the women cannot be missing. Surzex, I didn't remember you that way, father. God, shut up, unwanted son. Saying that everyone started laughing while poor Surzex could only cry. Lucifer, I told you to come at 12, and it's only... Wait a moment, don't trust the time here there, he said while searching the dining room. Azazel, Loss 1159. Lucifer, exactly. So you have arrived earlier. Everyone looked at him with a look of not understanding, but they let him pass. Lucifer, well, let's wait for everyone to wake up and then we'll go out, okay? All yes. Lucifer, very good. Demonstrate, do you girls want to accompany me? They all looked at each other, and then followed the blonde to his room. Chapter 19 Special. 2 hours later. Lucifer was leaving his room with the girls. The strange thing was that there were more women than when he entered. Azazel, and who are they? And how did they get in? Lucifer, they are Shinigami, he said, pointing to a woman with white hair and eyes of the same color, only a little blue, and her clothes, well, I don't know how to describe that. For those who listen to my story on YouTube, go to my Wattpad and there you can see the images to give you an idea. And this is Cammy, she said, pointing to a blonde with very light blue eyes. The same thing happens to me with her clothes. I don't know how to describe her, and for those of you on YouTube you already know. God. Now I understand why they prayed to her. I would do it too every night, and without fail. Michael, father, please. God, shut up, learn from your brother. Look at the women he is looking for, especially Cammy, who is the purest. Lucifer, Well, you can just have discussions because in bed it's not very holy well, I'm getting off topic. Today what we will have is a normal party. Then the next few days we will do more things, but that is a secret. Michael, now that I think about it, why am I here? I don't like the things you do, Lucifer. God, shut up, broken rubber. This week we will make you a real man. Maybe you stop biting pillows, you bastard. Lucifer, exactly. Since you are sad as a man, if it weren't for the fact that you are my brother, I wouldn't distinguish between whether you are a man or a woman. Well, you can go for a walk around the village. In the meantime, I'm going to go prepare certain things. He said to disappear. So a few small hours passed, making it noon. Everyone was already gathered in the Lux waiting for the blonde, who arrived quickly. Lucifer, all right guys, I already have what we need. Beelzebub, what do we need? Lucifer, yes, I planned something before the big party. But since we are one egg and part of the other, we will do it in a big way. He said as a smile formed on his face. Lucifer, follow him, he told me to start walking. Everyone followed him until they reached a wall, where the blonde put his hand and it began to open. When it opened, a kind of garage was seen with helicopters, tanks, hybrids, planes and more things which involved death and destruction. Lucifer, I present to you my arsenal of armored aerial vehicles capable of combat with extremely destructive weapons which I have just invented. Beelzebub, this is great, look how many little toys there are, he said with a silly face and stars in his eyes. Lucifer, exactly, these little toys will help us make the big robbery in Konoha, which will be the last. There will be no more, but we'll go somewhere else. Do you remember the bank robbery? Mangar in Spain is stealing. I don't know if this word is heard in other countries. But just in case. Kakashi, how can I forget? The two Uchiha brothers just nodded with a smile. Surzex, what old times. Lucifer, first, it wasn't that long ago that we did it, and second, what the hell are you talking about old times if you weren't there? Well, leaving that aside, I'll show you what will help us. He said to start walking until they reached where Lucifer had everything prepared. Lucifer, this is what will help us have more strength in combat. Michael, Lucifer. Nothing is stronger than love. Lucifer, except an Apache helicopter. An Apache helicopter has missiles, machine guns. It is an incredible and impressive piece of weaponry, a true death machine, a butthole destroyer, the dad of dads. A Mozambique mosquito, a Madagascar sparrow. The Mr. Boeing AH-64 Apache. He said, showing the helicopter. Beelzebub, there is Dad, but look how beautiful. He said, looking at the helicopter. Obviously he's not going to look at the ceiling. Lucifer, right? I call him Fluffy. Sasuke, I better not ask why. Lucifer, well, this beauty will be controlled by someone. That someone will be in charge of providing support. Beelzebub, me, it will be me, he said as if he were a child. Lucifer, very well, it will be you. More than anything, because you will surely be the only one qualified for this. He said simply. Lucifer, and the next thing is, you screw yourselves and wait until the assault, Lucifer, and that would be all. See you at 4 at the meeting point. He said to disappear again as always. Super time jump. Naruto was on the roof of a house watching his target. The Namikaze Uzumaki house. Naruto, well, it's time to recover what was invested in the Lux. I think it was 50% of the Uzumaki's wealth. Well, a shame for them. He said to put on his mask. In the Namikaze house you could see the whole family having a snack in the kitchen, until a noise caught their attention. The noise was strange. They only knew that it was very loud and heavy, as the ground was shaking. Kushina, Minato, can you go take a look? The blonde just nodded to look out the window. As he did so, he opened his eyes and turned away from the window. Good choice, since an M1 Abrams tank entered, destroying the wall. Minato, but what the buck? He said to see how people dressed in camouflage, and with masks appeared from the windows. They are all wearing payday masks. I'm just not going to say them. Minato tried to get up, but someone stopped him. That someone was Dallas, or as we know, Lucifer. Lucifer, where are you going forth? Could this be said to be a theft? I don't know what it is, but we are going to take everything of value. if you don't do anything we won't either. Minato looked at his family, seeing that they were in the same situation. Seraphol, well forth, let's go to the basement, there we will talk, he said, picking up the blonde and taking him and his family to the basement. Once they arrived, they left Minato inconvenient. Lucifer, very good, Mr. Menma. Feel there. Menma, and who are you to give me orders? When he finished speaking, Lucifer hit him in the mouth with the butt of his AK-47, breaking his teeth. Lucifer, shut up and sit the buck down. Menma sat up, clutching his mouth from the recent loss of her teeth. Lucifer, now Mrs. Kushina, you will tell us your bank account so we can take a large part of your money. Kushina, rot you. She told him with notable hatred in her words. Lucifer, very well, don't you collaborate. Your son is left without fingers. He said so that he could hit the fingers of his hand with the butt, breaking them. Meanwhile up. We see the people carrying the tank, placing it in position. Azazel, very good, it's almost there. A few more meters and we won't move. God, yes, there are times when they come that I feel like killing people, ha ha ha. He said as he began to load the machine gun that the tank carries. Michael, father, please, how are we going to kill people? God, shut up and take care of recharging the main pipe, see if you are of any use. Vala, that's it, if this friend is not recharged there is no party. After a few minutes everyone was in their positions, just in time to see how ninjas began to approach. Surzek's thoughts, they are coming, I hope everything goes well. He said so everyone will start shooting. God, yes, take it, sons of bitches, ha ha ha. She said as he shot left and right everywhere. Azazel, give it, Vala. The silver-haired man just nodded and fired the cannon, taking several people next to a house due to the explosion. Again with Lucifer. He had already broken all of Menma's fingers, who had fallen unconscious. Lucifer, well, tell me, or when I wake up shall we continue? Kushina, very well, there are 2 safes with money. One is in the bank and one is in this house. Lucifer, damn, we'll have to move. Well, it doesn't matter. He said to shoot Menma in both knees, then Mito in both shoulders and Kushina in the stomach. Seraphol, and what will we do with the 4th? Lucifer, this. She said to tie him to a fairly taut rope. Lucifer, when the rope is lifted it will be released, giving you time to see your family in this state. But when he moves 2 logs will fall and crush his balls. Seraphol, when did you exo all that? Lucifer, a colon. He said, pointing to a clone who was waving at him. Lucifer, well, let's go up, we don't have much time. He said to go up and see the chaos there was. Now you could see only smoke, explosions, gunshots, screams of agony and dead people. But there were so many ninjas that they were starting to get closer. Lucifer, it's time. He said to take out a phone and call a number. Lucifer, Beelzebub, you can make your entrance now. He said that after a few seconds a certain helicopter appeared making a pass. Beelzebub, this is the hick, I love it. She said with a grin from ear to ear to turn back around and start shooting more. Kokabeel, this already looks like a battlefield, I love this. Ha! Falbium, as always Kokabeel, you will never change, you will always be a bucking crazy person with wars, ahaha. Kokabeel, if you already know what I am, why are you surprised, haha? Meanwhile Lucifer calmly climbed the stairs to reach his ex-parents' room. Lucifer, well, little box, where are you? He said, looking everywhere until he found a solitary painting. Lucifer, I think I found you. He said to remove the box and find nothing. Lucifer, damn, there's always something in the movies. Seraphol, it's here. He said, pointing to the closet which was open and showing the box. Lucifer, I think they're not very good at hiding things. Well, let's see. Ari, you seriously didn't ask for the password? Asked the kitsune who had just arrived. Lucifer, no, because it's more entertaining that way. He said, and then opened the box as he knows how. To C4. Once the door flew off he looked inside to see a room full of money, jewelry and more things worth their weight in gold. Lucifer, look how beautiful. He said to enter, but a barrier stopped him. Lucifer, wow, so a barrier of blood. Now I understand why they didn't hide it. Well, it doesn't matter. He said to bite his finger and run it through the wall, making the barrier vanish. Meanwhile outside, you could see more of the same, only now everyone had left a rectangular space. Just then a path appeared skidding through the line of Konoha ninjas. This was a clone of Lucifer which was shooting through the crystal. Lucifer, hello sons of bitches, he said to park inside the house, leaving a space. Issei, did you just skid with the truck? How the hell do you do that? Lucifer, well, gentlemen ninjas, I only have the bullets from one magazine in each weapon because I have forgotten the magazines. So share. Frisia, Hojoho, I understood. Wait, I'm not in this story. Sirzex, what just happened? He asked, looking around trying to figure out who said that. Lucifer, alright guys, that's it, upload everything and we'll go back to the bank. So they started loading, but at the end a problem arose. And that was how to get out of there now. Azazel, now how the hell are you getting out? I asked, still inside the tank. Lucifer, like that. He said, so that a second tank came out of some houses crossing them. That distracted the ninjas, and then 4 cargo helicopters came down to pick everyone up, while a 5 took the road. Lucifer, very well, the tanks go to the bank we will find there. He said, so that the 2 tanks will start heading there without any problem. Shinigami, I love this machine, it's death itself. Kami, I like to be on top, so I can see how they die. Shinigami, since when have you become so bloodthirsty? Kami, don't ask because you already know the answer. He said, making it clear that it was Lucifer. Lucifer, well Coke, what did you think? A good war field he. Kokabeel, again with Coke, you know what? Do what you want and on the battlefield. Well, I would have put more explosions. Lucifer, having said it. He said to snap his fingers. Sirzex, I don't like this. He said to see a burst of missiles through a window. Sirzex, what the buck is that? Lucifer, those are called self-rechargeable Katiuskas, my invention, the self-rechargeable thing. You know. It doesn't matter. But there is still something more missing. He said, looking towards a specific point in the sky, which the others also looked at to drop their jaws to the floor. Kokabeel, you're crazy and I like that, haha. Sirzex, you want to destroy Konoha or make a bucking heist? Lucifer, what's wrong? There are only 2 tanks, an Apache, Katiuskas and now an AC-130, nothing special. It's time to jump. Kokabeel, but there are no parachutes. Lucifer, exactly, because I have them all. By the way, if they don't jump, the helicopter will explode, so. Ladybug is the last one, haha. She said, jumping with all the parachutes. Sirzex, you will be a son of a bitch, he said to jump alongside Kokabeel and the other demons who were normal. Once he landed, he approached the door of the bank and kicked it open, then shot the poor guard in the head, who was in the same place as the last time. After a few seconds, Sirzex and the others fell to the ground, crashing to the ground. Kokabeel, I swear that one of these days I will kill you. Lucifer, don't be angry, you're the fool, hasn't it occurred to you to take out your wings? Hearing that, everyone face-bombed. After a few seconds the others were falling. Lucifer, very good, we are all now ready to beat the cameraman, wait for the tanks and leave. Even though I think those in the tanks will be full of eggs in so many streets. Meanwhile, with the people inside the tanks. Azazel's group. In Azazel's group they only moved their heads as if it were a concert, while only one music was heard, which was this. The best thing for this scene is the chorus. But the music also works. Shinigami group. Only pro music was heard while they killed more people. Back with Lucifer, who was listening to everything, the only thing he did was turn off his phone and with a shocked face say, Lucifer, we have lost great friends. He said as the others nodded. Thus the hours passed where Lucifer endured with his companions without any problem until the time for withdrawal arrived. In the end they arrived back at the Lux where they took the count. Lucifer, well, it looks like we got our way. Well, I think it's time for the party. Everyone nodded happily to start this one, which was mostly drugs and music. At 3 in the morning there was a knock on the door of the Lux, making Lucifer open it, showing the Namikaze family. When they saw them, everyone stopped except Azazel, who was able to fire an airplane, only for Barakiel to stop him. Lucifer, what do you want? We are busy. Minato, Naruto, could you let us live in your house until ours is repaired? It was just destroyed, he said, looking at his son. Lucifer, let me think about it. God wise. Lucifer, shut up, old man, I'm busy. My answer is obvious. No, he said, closing the door, leaving the Namikaze family on the street. A few hours later, you could see the club destroyed along with most of the people lying on the ground. But one specific one stood out the most, and that was God. He had several wounds and was foaming at the mouth. Issei, my head. Wait a minute. Where is my arm? She said, yelling and waking everyone up. ISSCI, AAA. I have it stuffed inside my shirt, she said, to pull her arm out by the sleeve. Lucifer, son of a bitch, that's why you wake me up? Issei, I'm sorry. Hotel and God, she said, noticing that the old man was not there. Everyone started looking for him until they found him on top of a broken table in the state mentioned above. Lucifer, man, you're fine, she said, hitting him with a twig. Seeing that he didn't move, she took his pulse and turned around. Lucifer, it seems that the old man has screwed up. I think he went too far with drugs and women. Everyone lowered their heads at what the blonde said. Lucifer, well, we will say that he died in the Holy War and that's it. Oh, yes, I think it's a good idea, if we say that and that's it. God, sons of bitches, he said, standing up suddenly, but was knocked out by the blonde, who punched him out of fright. Lucifer, damn, what a scare. Well, the old man is still alive. I think he has come back to life from so much cocaine. Well, who wants to have breakfast? Oh, me? Lucifer, well, pay, you bastards. A few hours later. Lucifer, well guys, today we will go to Kirigakure to help the rebellion. Well, you guys, why I'm going to go buck May. Surzex, but Lucifer, I don't want to go. Lucifer, why? Surzex, because I'm bored. Lucifer, well, you take 2 stones and sting your balls with them. So walking, he said, to go out the door. Everyone's sweat dropped because of what the blonde said. After a few minutes, everyone was already in luxury cars. Because? Simple. Lucifer wanted to have fun, and to give more excitement he put weapons in the vehicles, which were all high-end. Lucifer's was a Lamborghini Venom. Lucifer's was a Veneno Lamborghini. Thus began the race to Kirigakure. In Kirigakure, a group of 19 cars could be seen approaching at full speed until one stopped. Lucifer, yes, win. Now pay, bastards, he said, watching the others pay. Lucifer, by the way, what about the others? Shinigami, you destroyed their oak with missiles, machine guns, blows, and took them off the track, he said as he got out of Lucifer's car, since he was the co-pilot. Lucifer, maybe I had forgotten. And he looks like it's hard to forget Azazel's place in the air. Azazel, yes, how fun, he said, appearing between a magic circle just like the others. Lucifer, spiteful. Okay, let's go, he said, to go to the rebellion headquarters. Chapter 20. Lucifer and company were at the gates of Kirigakure when Lucifer spoke. Lucifer, very well, I have a plan, that's right. You will have to go to the rebellion to say that we will support. I don't want casualties due to friendly fire, understood? Zabuza, I understand. I hope you don't overdo it. Lucifer, I won't go overboard, it will be something simple. The swordsman just nodded and left. Lucifer, what an idiot. Living with me for months and he still doesn't know me, he said as he walked away whistling. Meanwhile, Zabuza arrived at the rebellion base, where upon arriving he reported that a group would go to support them in the next battle and that they would have to be careful with friendly fire. I explained to them how they would be dressed and which of them are the most important. This is how the days passed until the battle arrived. The two sides could be seen fighting with swords, jutsu, and more weapons, until suddenly a noise stopped everything. Zabuza, they have arrived. At that point, everyone looks up and sees an AC-130 flying over the area. But when they looked closely, they could see something written on a banner. Banner. Whoever reads this is bucking the, especially Zabuza, he likes chorizo, and the fat and black ones. With much disgust. Lucifer Morningstar. Zabuza, he'll be an idiot. With Lucifer. This one was on a plane looking out the window. At that point he begins to see all the people. Lucifer, hell, there are people to kill. You like this, not Kokabeel? Kokabeel? He said, looking back, seeing the fallen man with a psychotic face and sharpening some knives. Lucifer, okay, I better not say anything. Well, are you ready? All yes. Lucifer, we're going to kill everyone? All yes. Lucifer, are you queers? All yes. Wait, what? Lucifer, afternoon, faggots. Now to jump. He said to pick up poor Surzex and throw him out the door. Surzex, son of a bitch. Lucifer, next, so everyone began to jump. Meanwhile, with Zabuza, they were still looking at the sky when they saw 3 dozen AC-130s flying over the area, showing people jumping out of them. When people started jumping, a noise was heard. But this time much more wax. Looking anywhere you could see tanks, helicopters, people, cannons and trucks with anti-aircraft emplacements appearing from the forests. Zabuza thoughts, son of a bitch, this is simple. It looks like a bucking assault on a military base in the middle of a war. Back with the paratroopers, they were plummeting when they suddenly opened a suit. They began to plan, landing in safe areas. While Lucifer. Well, it's Lucifer. He jumped and landed. He pulled out 2 light machine guns from God knows where, and started shooting wildly. The strangest thing is that she was wearing jeans and a white tank top, her mouth was a little crooked and she had a red ribbon on her forehead. Zabuza, seeing that, decided to continue with his fight. But when he saw the blonde again, he was changed. Now he was wearing a black jacket with jeans of the same color along with black boots. She was wearing glasses and had spiked hair. Now, instead of carrying 2 machine guns, she now carried a shotgun in one hand. The impressive thing was that he walked, and when they threw shuriken or kunais at him, they bounced off him, the shotgun reloaded when he turned it. The best thing of all is that there were roses on the ground, and when he shot he would step on one of these. Kirigakure Shinobi, who are you? Lucifer, I am the references, he said while turning his head with a shotgun. Thus the minutes passed where only screams of agony, suffering and pain could be heard. All Lucifer did was shoot while he smoked, and when he didn't smoke he drank. In one of those, Lucifer tore off one of his arms and began to hit him with them until he killed him. Lucifer, why do you hit yourself? Because? Ha! Azazel, bucking mother, and then he says about Kokabeel. In the end they killed most of them until the Mizukuge arrived. Yugura, stop, who am I to intervene in this battle? Lucifer, well, I am Lucifer, they are Kami, she is Shinigami and he is God, he said, pointing to those mentioned, who greeted. Everyone who didn't know the truth was left with a WTF face and didn't know what to say. Lucifer, well, Mr. Turtle, do you give up for good, or did your limbs get torn off one by an antler that you slapped? Decide. Yugura, I'll like to see how you do. The second he couldn't finish as the blonde shot multiple pink rays at each limb, leaving him motionless. Lucifer, takes super manly death rays. In some part of some universe. Frisia, Hojoho, I think someone is following my steps. Back with the blonde. Lucifer, well, are you giving up now? Yugura, no, he said, getting up. Lucifer, come on, at least kneel. Yugura, no. Lucifer, what if you lean in a little? Yugura, no. Lucifer, Bruno, okay, but tie your shoelaces. Yugura, or thank you, she said, kneeling down to figure out something. Yugura, wait a minute, I'm wearing sandals. Lucifer, AAA, you've already kneeled. You just gave up. Yugura, I just went to tie my shoelaces. Lucifer, that's it, late. We have won. Yugura, I'm not going to give up. Lucifer, very well, I'm going to make kebabs with your ass. he said, to disappear and appear in front of the Jinchuriki and pierce his stomach. At that point he began to extract the bijou until when he took it out completely he tore off its head with one blow. Lucifer, well, that's it, he said, to turn and see everyone. Itachi, you know I was in an illusion, right? Lucifer, yes. But hey, we won. He said, so that everyone will start celebrating. Meanwhile, a clone of Lucifer, the mythical colon could not be missing, was down next to a person who had no arm. Lucifer clone, very well done. Give me those 5. He fell down when he saw the man without an arm. Lucifer clone, give me that hand. Give me those 5. Well, at least we got out in one piece, well done, he said, and then disappeared. Surzex, by the way, Lucifer, where did you send the missile? Zabuza, what missile? Lucifer, not one that I had planned to launch. But I made a mistake by pressing the buttons and now I don't know where it is. Meanwhile in Konoha it was seen that it was half destroyed thanks to a certain blonde. Back with Lucifer. He was heading to the Hokage Tower after Mei had taken office there. Now they were with the reconstructions, which would not take long thanks to a certain blonde and his slaves, I mean friends, yes, that friends. Once he reached the tower, he walked as if nothing had happened until he reached the door, which he kicked open. That made those inside scared. But they relaxed when they saw the blonde. Mei, Lucifer would appreciate it if you didn't come in like that. Lucifer, sorry, it's customary. Well, what I was going for. And these people? Counselor, we were in the middle of a meeting. Lucifer, AAA, now I understand why the secretary told me that it won't happen. Well, as I was going, tomorrow we will leave, so I want to enjoy it to the fullest. And for that I need the help of a certain woman, he said, looking at Mei, who she just smiled. Counselor, Mei can't leave yet, we have to deal with matters. Lucifer, what matters? Counselor, how the village will grow. What trade agreements will we have, the alliances. And much more. Lucifer, don't worry, I'll take care of everything, he said, to snap his fingers and make a certain redhead appear. Surzex, tell me, Lucifer. Lucifer, take care of these problems. Surzex, why me? Lucifer, because it's out of my bucking mind. Now get to work, damn, he said as he retreated with Mei at his side. This is how the day passed, where Surzex had to do everything while Lucifer had a great time with a certain woman. In the end, when they left, they did the same thing as when they came back. Only Lucifer changed Surzex's car for a tricycle. So when they arrived, they had to wait for the redhead, who arrived 3 hours later, and with his legs busted. In the end, everyone came home to have another party. Chapter 21. When Lucifer arrived at the house, it didn't take long for the party to start. Michael, I don't want to participate. Lucifer, come on, man. What do you want? Michael, some tea, he said, to watch as Lucifer took out 2 bottles. The first was vodka and the second was whiskey. By mixing the 2 drinks, he resulted in a very alcoholic drink that was colored like tea. Lucifer, here you go. Michael, this is not tea. Lucifer, but it has the same color. God, exactly, and look, you can do this, he said, to light the drink with a lighter. Michael, that means it has alcohol. Lucifer, well, drink water. At that, Michael takes the glass and the lighter and lights the drink. Michael, this is not water, it's alcohol. Lucifer, but it has the same color. Michael, I'm not going to drink. Surzex, say yes. I'm not into parties. Take Michelle, he said, giving her a glass of water. Michael, thanks, brother, he said, to start drinking. But she soon stopped. Michael, this is vodka, he said as he threw the base to the ground. Surzex, sorry, I was wrong. Michael, there's bean. Have some tea, he said, handing her the glass Lucifer had given him. Surzex, thank you, she said, to start drinking. But then I noticed that it was alcohol. Surzex, son of a bitch, this is alcohol. Michael, UPS, sorry. I did not realize. Surzex, son of a bitch, I'm going to kill you. Michael, try it, he said as he and the redhead raised his aura. But then someone stopped them. Lucifer, stop the car, faggots. There is no fighting here. Here you drink. So if they want to fight, let it be who can last the longest drinking. Everyone, yes, fight, fight, fight. Surzex, very well, let's start. She said to start drinking next to Michael. That's how the night passed, where more of the same thing happened, only there were people missing. In that you see a redhead and a blonde getting up from the ground after vomiting. Surzex, I'm in shit, he said as he clutched his head. Michael, me too. Lucifer, wow guys, I didn't know you could drink so much, he said as he filled 2 glasses. Lucifer, drink water. They deserve it. The two approached to start drinking. But again they stopped. Then they looked at the label on the bottle and saw what it said. Bottle, 96 degrees of alcohol. Michael/Surzex, this is alcohol, bastard. Lucifer, but it has the same color. Meanwhile, somewhere else, a certain Uchiha could be seen next to Issei and Vala. The strange thing was that Sasuke didn't have any clothes on, just some boxers. Sasuke, what time is it? He said with pain to look at the time. Time, 10:45. You're going to be bucking late. Sasuke, I shit the sea. It's with Ryanair. Now how do I get to the center of Konoha? Issei, don't worry, yesterday we promised you that you would arrive on time. And we have accomplished it, look. She said to point out a place. Sasuke turned pale. There was Ryanair who had just arrived in the center of Konoha. Where they were right now. Sasuke. Ryanair. Crew. Issei/Valley, ya Matalo. Sasuke, you guys are shit. Ryanair, I think I have to talk to a certain person, he said to grab the Uchiha by the neck and drag him away. In luxury. Lucifer was sitting on a couch while drinking. Lucifer, and now who will collect this? He said, looking at bottles, bags, cocaine and more things which were on the ground. But then a certain couple walked through the door. Sasuke, I swear I haven't been unfaithful to you. Ryanair, shut up. Lucifer, what happened to this last night? He was unfaithful to me? Just as he was about to respond, he noticed some disturbances in his peace. When he turned around, he could see Sasuke looking at him while he seemed to send him a message with his mind. Message Sasuke, help. Tell him nothing happened. But then the Uchiha saw how the blonde, looking at him and understanding what he was trying to tell him, only smiled in a devilish way. Lucifer, he was unfaithful to you. I have videos if you want. Sasuke, maldita basura. Ryanair, so with those we have. Come, I'll show you that I'm the only one. She said to drag him away. Lucifer, how beautiful is love. Well, now what do I do? I know, I'll go for a walk. Sasuke, do you want to accompany me? Sasuke, Pidrit, T odio. Lucifer, I love you too. Well, I'm leaving, he said to leave the Lux. When he was walking, he could see a certain family. Minato, Naruto. I didn't expect to see you here. Lucifer, unfortunately I live here. So I don't know what the buck you're talking about. Minato, Naruto, we wanted to ask you if you could let us live in your house. Lucifer thoughts, seriously, the village reforms in hours and now he tells me that his house isn't? Quite useless. Lucifer, and I would win. Kushina, we'll do what you want when we're at your house. Lucifer, sounds interesting. Come on. But they owe me a favor. Minato, why? Lucifer, for having to put up with this one, he said, pointing at Menma. Menma, damn useless. Lucifer, don't touch my balls, I'll send you to my friends again. Saying that, Menma turned pale and hid behind her mother. Lucifer, come on, I already have the first thing you have to do, he said to take them to the Lux. When they entered, everyone saw how shit the club was. Lucifer, yesterday there was a party. And as you can see, it's a bit dirty. So let's clean. Just then a certain Uchiha came out of a room half dead. Lucifer, Sasuke didn't know you were a masochist. Sasuke, son of a bitch, because of you he's been torturing me for hours. Lucifer, I forgot to warn you that she's a bit sadistic. Only to a lesser extent than Akino. But if you know how to handle them, you can do whatever you want. Hee hee. Well, I'm going to bed. Kushina, are you going to sleep at this time? Lucifer, well, if you were partying all night, I think they would sleep later. But in my case, it's not for that. Minato, and then? But then someone spoke up. Kami, Lucifer, we are waiting for you. Shinigami, come quickly. Lucifer, does that answer your question? Kushina, who are those? Lucifer, they are Shinigami and Kami. Shinigami, wow, so here's the Hokage. And to think that I forgive your life. If I knew they would abandon Lucifer, I would never have done it. But I do not regret. Since I have it with me now. Myth, Ajajikas. Kami, what are you laughing at, tadpole? Myth, they say they are Kami and Shinigami, haha, that is impossible. Shinigami, really, what do you think? She said as she took the form she always used when she was summoned. At that point the Namikaze family was scared shitless. Kami, calm down now, Shinigami. They are mere mortals. Shinigami, I know, but with the Namikaze I can do whatever I want. After all, I should have taken his soul, but I didn't, so I have the right to claim it whenever I want. Lucifer, don't worry, let them clean up and then do what you want. He said to start walking towards her room. At that the two women paid attention to him, and then followed him. But Lucifer noticed that a certain redhead had a face of pure jealousy. I think he was redhead, I don't even remember my own history. Damn fish memory. Thus the hours passed until everyone could bear it again. Azazel, what is the super family doing here? He said, pointing at the Namikaze. Lucifer, I have left them. God, surely you have asked him for something in return. Lucifer, no, I have been a good person. Serzex, you don't even believe that, surely you will benefit, right? Lucifer, there is how they know me. But well, let's get off the topic. God, exactly, where are the whores? Lucifer, relax, old man. I don't want you to have a heart attack. You are one of those who understand me. I wanted to ask them what they wanted us to do. We still have many days left. God, we go whoring and then we get our eyebrows covered in cocaine. Lucifer, please someone give him some anesthesia. Well, what did they have in mind? Falbium, how about sleeping? Lucifer, bucking lazy. Other. Vala, and if we make a circuit and race with the cars? Lucifer, that would be nice. Death race, ha ha ha, lots of explosions and destruction. Serzex, not again please. Issei, and how about we make a ring and have hands? Lucifer, very good idea, it's perfect. I already know what we'll do. It will be a death race and whoever survives will fight in the ring. Ari, I don't know why but this doesn't inspire confidence in me. Lucifer, well. Now let's start another party. Thus they spent the night like the previous ones. Only this time the Namikaze family came out traumatized. Both because they were everyone's target, and because they saw horrible things within that club. Kushina tried to stop her son. But in the end I end up on a stripper pole dancing in my underwear. As a step? It is not known. All you know is that Minato had no bucking idea what to do. On the other hand, Menma knew it. Only being a piece of shit she tried to approach women. But she was always embarrassing others. So much so that people felt sorry for him. Instead Mito just sat down and offered everything. Of course. Using him he saw his mother decided to leave. And that's how another day ended. Now with the Namikaze family in the house. Lucifer clone, what did you sons of bitches think? What was not going to appear? I have become immortal in this story. So get used to it. Well, now to what I was going to do. What do you want Kushina's future to be like? Since there are people who say that the goal. So tell me and then I'll see what I'll do. Now goodbye. Disappears. Chapter 22. It had already been 2 days since the Namikaze family had stayed at Lucifer's house. It must be said that they had not been able to sleep a single day. They were still wondering how the others looked like roses the next morning. If they knew that Naruto stops time for everyone except them just to buck. Leaving that aside brings us to the current situation. With a smiling Lucifer and more than half of the people on crutches, bandages, and more like that. Because? Simple, Naruto did the death race and then a fight. The bad thing was that everything could be used in combat. And when I say everything is everything. For example, a truck to crush opponents against a wall. Well, anyway. Now Lucifer was planning his last 2 days with his friends. Lucifer, I have a proposal. All, and which one is it? Lucifer, since I have a poor memory as the creator of this story, I forgot that we had a mafia. And as such we have to make ourselves known, so let's do it these 2 days, what do you think? Michael, I don't want to, and I don't think anyone should. Lucifer, who the buck cares about your opinion? Nobody, so shut up. Well, I'll explain everything to you when we get to the Nami no Kuni mansion. See you? He said to disappear as always. After a few hours everyone was already in the mansion waiting for the blonde, who was the first to leave and the last to arrive. Lucifer, well, it's here, he said, appearing behind the desk. Lucifer, well, what we will do is simple. We will start with something simple, the buying and selling of drugs. But since we have them, it will only be for sale. God, and what drugs will they be? Lucifer, the usual, cocaine, heroin, hashish, marijuana, etc. After that will be the sale of illegal weapons. Ari, and how will we manufacture the drugs? Lucifer, with a laboratory. He said to press a button which opened a wall, which gave way to a laboratory to create drugs. Lucifer, very good, I have prepared everything necessary for you to start. So quick, cocaine, heroin, everyone snort, he Christmas, Christmas, sweet Christmas. He said as he sang, but was stopped by a certain redhead. Sirzex, and what are you doing? Lucifer, take a look around and see potential clients. But before that we will have what we have one in this country. Ostia looks at how many zeros, and there is no negative at the beginning. Zabuza, it's normal that IN always has negative numbers, you spend everything on parties and more bullshit. Lucifer, sure he. Except with the holidays, all the money invested in them is a wonderful day. So shut up. Everyone began to work on that. Of course Naruto had to keep God at bay, for the simple fact that everything he made was given to him intravenously. So now he himself was in an overdose coma. Once they finished manufacturing all the drugs, Lucifer appeared. Lucifer, well, everything is ready, now we just need to deliver the merchandise. So walking. He said so that together with everyone they put all the drugs and packages inside a bag like the ones they used to steal. In the end they ended up with about 15 bags. Haku, well? Now where are we going? Lucifer, towards Kumogakure. He said to run away followed by the others. In the end they got tired and ended up filling in magic circles. Once they arrived they were received like in any village, of course apart from Konoha, where the guards spent most of their time sleeping. Once the sunsets were over they headed to the Kage's tower. Upon arrival, Naruto disguised himself as a drug dealer, and then entered discreetly. Once inside he could see the Raikage talking to a team. This team was made up of a short-haired blonde woman with huge breasts. Behind her was a redhead with yellow eyes and a white-haired boy with a tendency to see everything as terrible situations that could happen. At that Lucifer made his entrance. In the corner where he was, he began to take little steps, little by little, heading towards the Kage. At that point, the team that was in the room noticed it, so they decided to watch as Lucifer was wearing a black trench coat and sunglasses. Once he reached the Kage's side he spoke. Lucifer PSS PSSS PSSSS. At that the Kage heard him and turned around. Hey, what do you want? Lucifer, look, she said, opening the trench coat showing all the drugs. Lucifer, I have a lot of drugs. Cocaine, hashish, marijuana and especially steroids. For the muscles. Sounds interesting. How much? Lucifer, 150 for the large pot, 100 for the medium one and 75 for the small one. I'll take the big one, he said, putting the money on the table. But then someone interrupted. Karui, Hokage is buying drugs from a stranger? They are not drugs, they are pills to help muscles grow. Karui, and how do you know that? It says it on the label. He said, pointing to it, which could be read clearly. Label, little pills to help your muscles grow. Fine print, we are not responsible for possible muscle tears or sudden deaths. All of those things fall on you. You see, the label doesn't lie. Karui, but you haven't read the fine print? It's not necessary. If it's in small print, it doesn't matter much. Make it 4. She said, putting more money on the table. Lucifer, of course. He said, taking the money and leaving how many bottles of steroids. Lucifer, and you guys? Don't you want little joy pills? Samwi, I don't think so. He said with a wooden face. Lucifer, what a shame. As fun as it is. He said to take off his trench coat and glasses. Lucifer, well, Mr. Rakeage. How about we stay a few days and then I give you 4 more pots? First I will try them. If they work, you will have all expenses paid every time you come as long as you bring me these pots. How about? Lucifer, there's a deal. Well, I'm leaving. I hope to see you again soon, especially those 2 girls. He said, pointing at Karui and Samwi. At that he disappeared to appear with his group. Lucifer, the purchase went perfectly. He said to briefly explain to them what had happened. Shuna, so we have everything paid for? Lucifer, yes. Shuna, and we will stay here. Lucifer, yes. Shuna, you are a clone. Lucifer, yes, how did you know? Shuna, because Ari and I are with you and we are also a clone, leaving these losers to sell everything. She said to disappear along with those mentioned. Azazel, son of a bitch, he stays with the prettiest ones. Surzex, and on top of that he leaves all the work for us. Everyone, mistake, he leaves it to you, they said to disappear like Lucifer. Surzex, I shit on your bucking dead, when I catch you I will tear out your intestines and then make you eat them? Meanwhile with Lucifer. He was leaving with the bijous of a hotel to go around the village. In itself, it seemed boring to them, since they were used to the city in the case of Lucifer, and having seen it many times in the case of the bijous. Well, in the end it got boring, but there was something that caught the blonde's attention. Well, more like a girl. She was blonde with a ponytail with black eyes and she was wearing the Kumogakure ninja outfit. This was Yujito and I. Lucifer, wow. But what do we have here? That girl is the Jinchuriki of one of your brothers, right? Ari, yes, why do you ask? Lucifer, no way, I think I already have things to do. He said to leave after the blonde, but not before leaving some clones with the bijous. Meanwhile with the others. A certain Uchiha duo could be seen in the casino gambling, and they were clearly winning. The reason? Simple. They had their Sharingan active, putting their rivals in an illusion so that if they had a good hand they would make a particular gesture, and if they had a bad one another gesture. But leaving that aside, they had to run since good old Azazel and his goodwill. He said about the Uchiha's traps, causing them to now be chased by the guards. While on the other hand he was with Michael in a bar. He was about to leave, until his father got into a fight against other people. Michael, how a good angel, tried to fix things, but the only thing he got by avoiding a blow was a free-for-all fight in the bar. Michael, not knowing what to do, decided to leave, leaving his father fighting. At that time, certain Uchihos were passing by, so seeing how a man came out of the window of the bar, they entered, thus joining the fight so that later the guards entered, who also joined the fight. The same thing happened with Azazel, since he was following them, and when he saw everything that had happened, he did not hesitate to go down. This lasted until the night, where the girls took the opportunity to steal and make money by betting. The only one who missed it was Lucifer and Surzex, which was still at work. Instead, Lucifer was busy with a certain Jinchuriki. In the end, God got angry and ended up blowing up the bar along with some other houses. More or less about 100. But nothing that Tito Beelzebub and the famous magic of demons to erase minds or change them cannot solve. In this case he changed them to a boy who couldn't touch the sun. But a babysitter decided to take him out, so when she came out and she saw that she couldn't pass it, she was able to celebrate. But it didn't last long since within seconds he exploded like a dove. With the difference that it was multiple times larger than that. since all the destruction that our dearest God did was supposedly created by that child. This is how the first day in Kumogakure passed, which was a rest for what was coming the next day, being Lucifer's greatest stupidity, causing great chaos and dismissal. Chapter 23. The next day Lucifer woke up with all the girls in his bed. He tried to remember, but he didn't remember how they had all arrived. In the end he let it go, and got up. Once he got up he went out to the living room, seeing everyone waiting for him. "Lucifer, what the buck are you doing here?" "Sirzex, you told us yesterday that we would meet in your room to plan what you had in mind." Lucifer: "Sure. I was just joking." She said as he had his eyes closed and nodded his head. Azazel: "Don't worry, Lucifer, you weren't the only one. If it weren't for Michael I would still be sleeping." Lucifer: "Well, leaving that aside, I'll tell you what I have planned. You know that in this village there is one of the largest banks in the entire country of fire, right?" "Ahari, I think I know you well enough to know that you want to rob that bank, right?" he said as she walked out the door of the blonde's room with the others. Lucifer: "How did you know?" "Wait until you just said why." He said to bring up a map of the bank. Lucifer: "Well, how do you want to get in?" "All stealthily." Lucifer: "Okay, we'll do it as you say. To sack." "Not all in stealth." Lucifer: "Well, what I said is worthless." Azazel: "I think it's the other way around. I'm going to try something." Lucifer: "We will kill him." Azazel: "Have you already told us the plan?" Lucifer: "No." He said to enter, and as is tradition, he shot the guard who was at the door. When they entered, the usual thing happened. They sounded the alarm, Lucifer killing civilians because he likes to kill. Sirzex and the others kill guards and drug God while he kills everyone. That's when the police/shinobis arrived. I'm going to call them police since it's easier. Police, stop it, you are surrounded, come out with your hands up. Lucifer: "And then how do we open the door?" Police: "Shit, they didn't teach us this at the academy." "Let's go guys," he said to leaving a second team to take his place. Police 2, "Very well, be surrounded, you have two options, take the good one or take the bad one." Meanwhile with Lucifer. Lucifer: "Ha ha ha, he doesn't know how to say yes, ha ha ha. Azazel, please kill him." Azazel: "Okay, have." "Damn, with this shitty mask I can't see anything," he said while trying to aim. And then at the end to be able to shoot. With the police. They were waiting for a response, but suddenly a bullet hit a random police officer. At that everyone looked at the corpse, then at the bench, and then back at the corpse. Police 2. "Open fire, you son of a bitch, open fire," he said to start throwing jutsus and throwing weapons. With Lucifer. He was still laughing like crazy while everyone looked at him. Lucifer: "Ha ha 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 ha, waya," he screamed and then crouched down. Meanwhile, the others only saw how suddenly a wall was destroyed, giving way to a sea of flames and thrown weapons. Lucifer: "Sons of bitches, who was it?" Suddenly everything stopped, and then we saw how all the police officers were pointing at one in particular. Lucifer: "Very good little shit, if you come close to me or I have the opportunity to do something to you, you better run, because I'm going to give you such a damn that you're going to lose your bearings on the space-time continuum." At that the policeman just shrugged and nodded. Lucifer: "Very well, where were we going?" "So," he said to shoot the policeman in the head, leaving him without half of it. Lucifer: "I told you not to be in my field of vision, well come on." He said to enter the center of the bank with half of the group, while the other half made sure that no one entered. Azazel: "All right, Lucifer, I have a question. Can the safe be opened with explosives?" Lucifer: "Yes, why the question?" Azazel: "I don't know. Why would you open the door with AC4 and save time?" Lucifer: "But do you know if I have one on top?" Azazel: "Please, Lucifer, I know exactly what you are. Normal people use pepper or at most a pistol for self-defense, but instead you use AC4 or a bucking RPG, so bust the safe." Lucifer: "But I can't. The drill is already in place." Azazel: "That is impossible. You are the only one who knows where it is and can ride, and if my eyesight does not fail me, you have not moved in any movement." Lucifer, not me. But my colon does. He said to point at the clone next to a huge drill next to him. Lucifer clone, hello? She said as he waved with a smile on his face. Azazel, I don't even know why I worry. But hey, now we'll have to wait, right? Lucifer, CI. He said with an impassive face and a child's voice. Then a magic circle appeared in the blonde's ear for someone to speak. Surzex, Lucifer, we have a little problem. I don't know why more police keep coming, it's like they are infinite. So, we are losing ground, there are many of them. Lucifer, wow, how strange, it's as if Shinigami, by someone's order, are doing their work in reverse. Let all the souls who are going to await their judgment be sent back to their bodies. He said and then had a few seconds of silence. Surzex, have I told you that I hate you? Lucifer, yes, many times. He said to cut the communication and leave. Azazel, where are you going? Lucifer, I'm going to help the useless Surzex. He said to raise his power and jump off the bench while he shit on everything for not controlling his power. Meanwhile, on the ground floor of the bank, there were some Umbus trying to infiltrate, but suddenly one of them stopped and turned around. Umbu, what power that is! She said with a surprised face along with her pupils which vanished. Meanwhile, outside, the second group was holding on to the police until they heard a scream. Lucifer, I'll shit myself, he said to crash into the ground, but his speed was so great that he began to break the ground. And back to the Umbus. They were listening to how things began to break above their heads, so they wisely stood aside to see how the ceiling broke and let the blonde fall, who stopped on that floor. Umbu thoughts, what technique is that? Lucifer, damn what a fine beast, I think I'll have to train a little. He said to fix her gaze on the Umbus. Lucifer, ho? Sorry, I thought you were my colleagues. Umbu, well, you made a mistake, now get out. Lucifer, MMMHH? What you don't know is that I can inform my companions that you are trying to catch up with us. Umbu Nanny. How do you know that? I'll have to delete it. She said, getting into a fighting pose while carrying a sphere in her hand. That caused Lucifer's laughter to literally take a turn into one of, I don't know. Look at the GIF and you will understand. Umbu, I'm serious, he said to throw the sphere at him, which hit the blonde's leg and then fell to the ground. Lucifer, wow, amazing technique. I think you killed some hairs on my leg. Now it's my turn. No. Prepare tea for my technique, double sand A. B. Umbu, or not, one of my many weaknesses. Puff. Umbu, my beautiful face. Lucifer, one less problem. Now a simple question. Who here is a woman? At that, two Umbus raised their hands. Lucifer, very good, he said to snap his fingers and make the others fall silent to the ground. Obviously, they are not going to fall to the ceiling. Lucifer, now remove your masks. He said to see the first one, who had hip-length gray hair tied in a ponytail. Her eyes were a golden color with dark touches. And the best thing for the blonde was that the Umbu's suit clung to her body, making any man hard. The clothes she is wearing are the female uniform of the Umbus of that village. They are cool XD. But the happy face did not last long, since the next time he took off his mask, he revealed a man dressed as a woman. Lucifer, get away from me, he said to take out a shotgun and blow her head off. Sakuya, what have you done? She was my best friend. Or whatever. Lucifer, don't worry, just the remastered one. He said, looking at the woman. Sakuya. Lucifer. Sakuya. Lucifer. Sakuya. Lucifer, Falamus? 30 minutes later. Azazel and the others were already at the doors of the vault. They were waiting for Lucifer so that he would help them hold back the police. But then some voices began to be heard inside the chamber. Sakuya. Harder, Lucifer, harder, the woman shouted between moans. Azazel, but what the hell? God, I am proud of you, Lucifer, hit it harder, make that woman your whore. Michael, father. God, shut the buck up. Sasuke, why is he always lucky enough to buck everything that moves? Azazel, how the hell did you get in there? Sirzex, you are shit, don't you see we are waiting for you? Random, hey Naraka, that's not your wife? Naraka, Sakuya. Random 2, why do we scream? ANBU Random 3, I don't know. Lucifer, shut your mouths, here's someone trying to concentrate. Azazel, but you will be a son of a bitch, we are in trouble. Lucifer, I hate it, and if you don't shut up, I'll send you with Cerberus so you can spend a night together. He said for everyone to be silent. Another 30 minutes. Lucifer, well that's it, you can thank me now that I have stopped time so that you are not waiting for me. At that point he went to open the door, but someone interrupted him. Naraka, to a piece of Marika, get out here and fight like a man. Lucifer, yes of course, I'm such a faggot that I bucked your wife. You can see how much I like men. At that Naraka started insulting and saying nonsense. Lucifer, it's time to call a friend. Radeyes? Radis. Scion, which is weaker than a stuffed Cyberman. Radeyes, what do you want? He said, appearing out of nowhere. Lucifer, I'd better not go looking for the logic of what just happened. Because otherwise I would have to look for the logic of this story, which it doesn't have. Well, I want you to shut that idiot up. Radeyes, okay. He said to make his ship appear to put Naraka inside. Lucifer, a holy soundproof ship. But then she saw how rays appeared from the sphere. Just then the sphere breaks, revealing Naraka. Radeyes, or not, my spaceship. She said to see Naraka lunge at her. Radeyes, or no, they didn't teach me how to avoid people. She said to receive a head, but that broke her armor. Radeyes, or not, my space armor. Lucifer, damn, we already understood that you're from space. Now die. He said to see how Radeyes was defeated. Naraka, ha ha ha, now you follow, you bastard, bang, reloading sound, waiting seconds, bang. Everyone watched as Lucifer had blown off half of Naraka's head, leaving her brains scattered all over the place. Lucifer, Paco, please clean this up, and by the way I think I've abused the parodies a bit. He said so that out of nowhere a bald man with a mustache and something old would appear. I think I've described it backwards. But oh well. Lucifer, well. How about we have some beers and talk while Paco finishes cleaning? Everyone, okay, so they spent another half hour where everyone was talking about everything in general. Until the time came. Where only Paco left, they began to kill themselves. Say, hey, is there much left? Lucifer, shut up, filler character. She said, looking at the brunette in a bad way. Vala, ha ha, you are a filler character, ha ha ha. Lucifer, you shut up, you effeminate faggot, you're also stuffed. He said to leave Vala depressed in a corner next to Issei. Issei, the story of me being the reincarnation of Madara is going much better for me. My goodness, how I link stories, totally unexpected, and while we're at it, go read it. Just kidding, do whatever you want. They continued like this for an hour until our great protagonist spoke. Lucifer, stop, he said. The entire fight stopped. Lucifer, Haber. I'm shitting myself and I have to go to the bathroom. I'm sure there are people like that. So let's do this. He said to mark a path. Lucifer, this path leads to the bathrooms. Those inside will not receive any damage. Of course, as long as they don't use it to screw the enemy. So with that said, I leave as I came. He said to run off to the bathroom. And a super jump in time, and it's not because I'm running out of ideas, but it's necessary. Azazel, Lucifer, please tell me what the drill has finished drilling, please. Lucifer, it finished an hour and a half ago. Azazel, luckily. Wait, what did you say? Lucifer, it ended an hour ago. How do you think he can open or enter with Sakuya? Azazel, I'll kill you, you bastard, he said to be stopped by the blonde. Lucifer, don't worry, I've already loaded the bags and taken them home. We can go now. He said he to disappear in a magic circle being followed by the others. Back in Konoha. Lucifer appeared at his house to see the Namikaze family sitting on the couch watching TV. Lucifer, what the buck are you still doing here? Minato, we have decided that we will stay and live with you, she said with a smile. Lucifer, hee hee hee. Minato, hee hee hee. Lucifer, hee hee hee. Minato, hee hee hee. Lucifer, hee hee. Out, he said dryly. Minato, hey? And in no time she was already out of the house with all her things. Minato, how did he get us out so quickly? She said, looking at the now closed door. Kushina, I don't know. In the end they tried to get back in but couldn't, causing them to go home. Thus the days passed where the blonde's colleagues went to their respective jobs/positions/many things. In the end Lucifer's house was left as before, with 5 useless people and the rest beautiful girls. Kakashi, hey Lucifer, what are we doing now? Lucifer, I don't know, but before I think I want to talk to you, he said to begin walking towards a place well known to the one-eyed man. Upon arriving at the place Kakashi immediately became nervous. Kakashi, what are we doing in the basement? Lucifer, nothing, let's just talk. Kakashi, and what is that wooden chair doing, which is not at all suspicious? Lucifer, it's to make you more comfortable. Kakashi, and those chains with spikes, which if you put them on someone, will get stuck in them but won't let them bleed to death, and which are made to measure my ankles and wrists. Lucifer, the chains have a way to do massages. What I'm going to tell you will be very important. Kakashi, and that thing it couldn't end because of a blow to the stomach from the blonde. Lucifer, you little shit, you're going to sit there and let me torture me until I'm bored for having tried to kill me before. Kakashi K? Lucifer, what did you think I would forget? Now sit down, you piece of shit. He said to slam the silver-haired man against the chair, causing the chains to close. Kakashi, Lucifer wasn't me, I swear. He said with fear. Lucifer, and then who was it? Kakashi, well, it was a guy whose face couldn't be seen. He gave off an evil aura and he cast a spell on me to attack you. And now he is looking for power to kill you when you have your girls who have opened your heart. Like in the stories of betrayal towards Issei. It doesn't work, right? Lucifer, NOP. Issei, has anyone called me? She said, poking her head out of the ground thanks to a magic circle. Lucifer, no, now long stuffed with shit, he shouted angrily while kicking the chestnut's head, which little by little was falling downwards until it disappeared. Kakashi, please Lucifer, spare my life. Lucifer, and well, okay, just because you're being useful to me and I'm bucking your girlfriend when you're sleeping. Kakashi, what about you, Bang? Ahiya, son of a bitch, didn't you say you'd spare my life? He said as he looked at his knee, which was shattered thanks to a shot courtesy of the blonde. Lucifer, yes, I said that, life, but it does not torture her, having chosen both things hake. He said to hit another shot in the other knee. And well, I'll leave the rest to your imagination. A few days of recovery from Mr. Poop. Once he was recovered, they went to ask for a mission, but his surprise was great when he saw Minato asking Naruto to take charge of the village. Minato, please Naruto, take care of the village, we have to go sign a treaty in a village. Lucifer, okay. For me there is no problem, of course you will owe me a favor, which is horrible. For you. Because for me it will be great. She said to make her way to the office seat and sit down. Lucifer, bucking mother, what a shitty chair this is, even the chairs of the poorest people in the underworld are better than this trash. He said to throw it out the window. At that, the Namikaze family left the room so as not to anger the blonde even more. A few hours later. Already at night. Kushina, Minato, how do you think Naruto is? Minato, right now he's probably doing a lot of work. He said, thinking about the blonde. Meanwhile in the village. Villager 1, look darling at a shooting star. Make a wish. Meanwhile with Lucifer. This was in the sky with a red sphere similar to the sun. Lucifer, let's see what this was like. Mason. Masenko. Mas. It doesn't matter. I don't know what puppet it was, he said, launching the sphere and destroying the village. Minato, yes, I'm sure everything is fine. End of season. I'm sorry to end the season this way, I mean by not making any final chapter. But I have to finish the season this way. In principle, this story would be until the end, without any season, but I am already at the last few. As you may have already noticed, I have had several mishaps regarding uploading chapters. That's because I've had problems, but also because of a lack of ideas, and I think you've noticed. The previous chapters were better than the current ones. But getting to what I wanted to say is that I'm going to finish the season to give myself a break from this story and reorganize my ideas, apart from not screwing up the story. When it's ready, I will start the second season. For those who like this type of story, I inform you that today I will create a new one with the same Lucifer theme. So if you want, you can read it as a waiting story. Second season trailer. A certain blonde could be seen missing on some kind of set next to Kakashi. Well, not together, since the white-haired man was up on a ladder placing certain things. At that, the blonde turned around looking directly towards me. Lucifer, you bucking bastard, come over here. Narrator, how the hell do you see me? You're not even an animated being. I'm the one who writes your actions and dialogues. Lucifer, an inanimate being? Ask your mother, you'll see how cheerful I am. Narrator, if you say something stupid again, I swear I'll lock you up for a whole year with your family, so you can have a good time. Lucifer, okay, sorry, just don't lock me up with those people. And answering your question is simple. People have been waiting for the second season for a long time now. Narrator, 3 months is not long. Lucifer, of course it's not much, just like the typical phrase. I'll update tomorrow. Dante, did they call me? Narrator, no, what are you doing here? Dante, well, nothing, I just felt addressed and I appeared here. Well, without further ado, I'm leaving. It goes. Narrator, well, leaving all this aside, what the hell is all this? Lucifer, well, my second season has a while left. I decided that in order not to make the wait so long, I would create a kind of program. Narrator, what kind of program? Lucifer, well, I don't know. Narrator, perfect. Lucifer, shut up, let the mastermind work. I know, it will be a question program for the characters of this incredible story. Incredible because I am there. Narrator, okay. Aside from the fact that this sounds different to me, are you telling me that after storing the chapters one have to rack my brain asking questions? Lucifer, no, the readers take care of that. He looks at you. He looks at me, he stops narrating to me. Narrator, it's my job, and if I don't do it, they don't know shit. He looks at you again. Lucifer. Well, what I was going for. Yes, you will be in charge of asking the questions, and the lazy person there will bring the characters to answer you. So now leave your questions. Narrator, you know that they still don't know who will be the first to come, right? Lucifer, well, you are right. Well, I vote for the hot bitch. Kakashi, can I vote? Lucifer/narrator, nope. Kakashi, at least bring a ladder, remember I'm still up here. And the other ladder has fallen. Lucifer, don't complain, you piece of shit, for a drowning you're awful. Narrator, well, leaving the scarecrow, let's continue with your idea. By hot bitch you mean Ari, right? Lucifer, she. Narrator, and the reason is? Lucifer, I think you've forgotten a little about her, don't you think? Narrator, I think so, but since I am the one who writes your attitude, I think you want to bring it to buck you, right? Lucifer, it's a trick question, right? I won't answer that. Narrator, well, I don't know if this shitty idea is going to work, but hey, you're losing trying. So tell me some questions for the little bitch, and if this idea works, also tell the next character who steps on this shitty show. Narrator, by the way, out of curiosity, are there any women reading this shit? Well, the question would be, is there anyone sane who reads this nonsense story? Lucifer, why are you asking that shitty question? Narrator, I don't know, I think to fill out the chapter a bit. Lucifer, well, stop the bullshit and publish this garbage. You know that now that you're active, if people don't take long to ask questions for the bitch, maybe you'll publish the chapter today, so quickly. Narrator, okay, well, you've heard the cheap copy of Lucifer, never better said. Without more, I say goodbye. Clone Lucifer, holy. I also want to appear on the program, if the idea ends up moving forward. So next time they chose me.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.